I am singing me. Alright, so I'm a love minister. I believe that if we have enough love going around, the world will be a better place. So I sing love songs. I compose love songs. Yeah.
Shay. Please put your hands together. All right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ngozi Adobe, and I'm a journalist with the Guardian newspapers.
Ooh, a journalist in the house. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Go by name Francis Akuba. I'm a music producer.
Okay, music producer, singer, songwriter.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Lawrence John. I'm an entertainment enthusiast and an entertainment consultant.
Good to see you, Dr. Fix.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Madiba. I'm a music artist and a producer.
Producer and music artist. This one is how many dollar signs?
Yo, everybody, my name is Accurate. I'm a singer, songwriter, rapper, and my fans call me Gangster.
having a dialogue, like a very interactive section. So please, let's make this an impactful one. We need you to participate in this. So to take us further, we are going into the first session, and the first session is going to be a presentation, more like he's going to be teaching us, showing us things, and then you can pen down your questions, and then we'll take questions after his presentation. So to take us first in the first presentation, we have in the building Tyrone Triumph. Is a music, or is into music tech, and is a growth manager with 12 years of diverse experience in the Nigerian music and entertainment industry. Please make welcome on stage, Mr. Tyrone.
Hello. Okay, this thing's working. Hi, my name is Tyrone. Nice to meet all of you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy to. I'm really happy to be able to do this. It's not going to take a lot of your time, but I implore you to pay attention, and it's an interactive session. Really, you ask the questions you need to, and we'll get through this. I've got slides, so I don't know how we're going to do this. Okay, it's up. Okay, cool. All right. So how many of us here are aspiring musicians? First of all, so I just understand. Okay. How many of you are not aspiring? You're already musicians. You're blown. Great. So you work in music or otherwise, right? How many of you work in other aspects of music? I know Agba Promoter, AK. All right, cool. We'll touch around things that you need to do for your upcoming releases. I think everyone generally has an idea of what to do when you're trying to release something, but ready. All right, so I guess everyone already has some general idea of what to do when you're trying to release music. But we'll just go through it. So there'll be some things you're familiar with, and there'll be some things that you'd maybe hear for the first time, or maybe you have an idea. So we'll just go through them. We could start the slides already. By the way, I have a car for sale. Sorry to be using this platform. There is a Toyota Camry. It's I want to sell it. It's supposed to be going for about 8 million, but I'm selling it for 2.5. So if in case you are interested, is anyone interested? Will anyone be interested to buy the car? No, you guys don't. It's really nice. It looks really good. No takers.
Can you show us the car?
Okay, so that's my first point, right? I wanted to. You see, none of you were really interested until you saw it. That brings me to there's no car. This brings me to my first point, which is that a lot of us approach, until you start to approach music promotion like a product, like an actual thing you're trying to sell, you will not get too far, right? So let's just go through this. The next slide, please. The next slide. All right, I've done the introduction. So we're talking about strategies to help you plan your release. Next slide, let's go. We've gone through all this. All right, so the first thing is really identifying your audience, right? Two things happened just now when I tried to sell my imaginary car. One of it was that you guys were probably not the right audience because we didn't have a lot of takers. And then the second thing that happened is I did not have the product in front of me, so I could not tell you or show you. So even if you knew somebody who was interested, there was nothing to show, right? So the first thing you have to do when you're trying to sell music is identify your audience. It sounds very cliche, but um, I dare say that a lot of times, a lot of us do not know our audience. So when you're trying to release music, you often think you have an imaginary, okay, well, people will like the songs or whatever, like, but it goes beyond that. It goes in like you need to do a bit of research to find your target audience, right? And how do you do this? There is overwhelming data that's already available online, right? Um, but many of us don't know how to use this data, don't know how to tap into this data. So if you're releasing a song, for example, the first thing you need to do is find out which established musician, which established musician's audience would like what you're trying to release. So if you had, let's say you had an Afrobeat song, and there are different types of Afrobeat artists, you feel like it's something that lovers of Joe Boy would like. Where are they? That's the next question, right? Where is he or she? You have to think about your audience as one person. It's easier to be focused that way. Because when you think about people, um, it's broad strokes. You're not intentional about how to reach this person. But if you think about one person, it's easier to maybe look at a day in the life of the person. What does the person do? How does this person consume music? So when you think about your audience, often think of one person. So if you're going to think about the typical Joe Boy listener, what's the person's name? First of all, is it male or female? Female. So we agree that it's female, right? And that's why Joe Boy does love songs and all that. So you see, you already get a sense of who you are trying to release music for. So if it's a Joe Boy audience, we're talking about a female. Is she working class or is she in school? Most probably in school, right? So we know that already, right? So once you begin to strip down the audience and find out other details like how he or she consumes music. So a typical Unilag girl who's a Joe Boy fan, how does this person consume music? First of all, let's think about the platforms. So where do they find their music? TikTok, Snapchat, they probably stream on AudioMac or Boomplay, right? Maybe they're not doing Apple Music because they don't have a ready way to pay for it. So we already begin to take note of these little details. It helps you know how to target them, right? So how when you find out how they consume music, you're able to now develop strategies that you could reach this person. So you know that when you do a song for a typical Joe Boy fan, you're not thinking about DJ Blast, for example. That's not typically how they consume music, right? You are able, because if you think about music promotion, there is a plethora of ways, and there is if you are Obi Kubana, you go feel am, because you can spend money on a lot of avenues and not still get the desired results. So it's always good, rather than thinking about everything you can do, think about a few things you should do and do them properly. So once you begin to identify your audience, you strip the audience down to these points, you're able to know where exactly to, reach the audience. Now, I was going to ask you all examples of audiences and consumption habits, but we did that already. So there is, if you're releasing a song for maybe, trying to think of a street artist. Give me a name. Portable. So if you're thinking about Portable, a release for Portable, you can't be doing Spotify ads. Make sense? Because Portable fans are not going to listen to your music on Spotify. So you have that kind of sound, and you are doing Spotify ads, you've missed the mark already. So you now know that you need to go to maybe some some areas and talk to the DJs and all that. Yeah, you go to a Legoshi, you pay those DJs. So knowing the audience helps you eliminate a lot of wastage because, like I said, there's a thousand ways to promote music. So that's the first thing you have to do. Next slide, please. All right, so engaging your community. Here I've got, I'm a guy, so I try to think from a guy's perspective. I've got two girls, right? Imagine these two girls, you are doing talking stage with them. And that's Shade with the smile, and this is Becky with the good hair. Both of them equally beautiful, but then you're talking to the both of them, right? And both of them would like to be involved with you. Typically, what do they want? Next slide. Money, time, attention. That's how, for a guy, probably that's how you show your intentions, right? You spend money, you spend your time, you spend attention. Now, if you think about the typical life of an artist, this is what you want from your audience. So it's the same thing. It's a right analogy. As an artist, what do you want from your audience? You want their money. You want them to stream and buy. You want their time. You want them to make out time to come see you in shows and whatever. You want their attention. So this is basically what you're looking for. Now, the difference between... I tried to create some... the difference between the both of them in terms of how you relate with them. Next slide. So, yeah. So, both of them they check in on you. They emotionally engage you. They visually stimulate you. By visual stimulation, I mean, you see nice pictures. Sorry, I need to... Sorry about that. I'll just put that on phone mode and plane mode. So, yeah, both of them emotionally engage you, you're able to share experiences, you're able to talk to them and all that. And then they're both present, so you can see them when you have the time. However, the difference is, I'm asking the guys the question now, the difference is, Sade calls and texts and, is present when she needs something from you. Becky, on the other hand, just does that, right? She calls you from time to time. She checks in, she sees you, she sends you pictures without you asking. Now, if you had 100K and you had to give one person, who would it be? Exactly. So, is there anybody that thinks differently? Just asking. All right. So, the truth is, we think about these things as far removed from music promotion, but it's not at all. Your fans can tell when you are not being genuine with your engagement. Some musicians keep quiet, don't do nothing until you are ready to release. Oh, it's release week or it's release month. So the moment you start to post, the moment you start to engage your fans, they know, they smell it. They know that you're about to drop music. That's why you're doing all these things. They might not know why. If you call a fan to properly articulate why they'll just be like, They don't know. They might not be able to tell you, but I'm telling you that's why. Sometimes people are able to tell when, whatever you are doing is perfunctory. It's just because you have something to release, right? So where am I going with this? You need to engage your community consistently. What happens, we often think about marketing in terms of on-cycle and off-cycle marketing, right? So when you've released your song, you've dropped it, they finish streaming, there's nothing for them to give you again. They've streamed, the ones that will stream have streamed, that's it. You just chill, and you're like, yeah, whatever, till your next single. And then they can tell. So marketing doesn't stop when your release, when you have had your release, or when you've, you feel like people have listened and that's it. It never stops there. Everything you do off cycle, when you don't have any release, is part of marketing. It's a reason why your fans will keep, will keep you keep a place in their mind, you know, so that when you have a release, they are there to engage with you. So it's important, always think about the relationship with you and your fans as an actual relationship. You don't come in when you have something to drop, and then when you are done using them, you go out. Always keep them engaged, right? Um, Anyone with an example of an artist who engages their community properly? Great. Fields, Davido, Johnny Drill. Exactly. It's getting portable. So these guys give you a reason to keep your attention whether or not they're releasing music. I mean, for Portable, for example, if I asked what was his last release aside the one with Skepta, many of you don't know, but he's top of mind. That's what you want to do as an artist. You want to ensure that on season, off season, you are in front of the fans, you have their share of mind, and you're able to, so that you can now, leverage off of that attention when you have a release coming. Next slide, please. Right. So this is part of what we said. Form a habit of checking in, making your fans feel heard and seen. Incorporate them to your creative process. So one of the things I do aside, I've done a lot of things. Just as a background, I used to produce music. I've done songs for some of the big names. Olamide's first song that won an award, I did for Reminisce, Wandeko. So I had a life as a producer before heading Cool FM. So I've done a couple things. And one of the things I've done is make adverts for brands, right? I did, jingles for Indomie, Power Oil, Samsung, Apple. I mean, I'm part of their creative process, so I do jingles for them. So there's one time I had this really one particularly difficult client. She would ask me to create something. I would create it. She would say it's good, and then 2 days later she calls me and she's not feeling it. I do something else. She calls me the next day and she's like, well, she woke up and she didn't hear it ringing in her head when she woke up, so it's not memorable. I would do something else and she'd be like, oh, this is fantastic. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, she's not that excited. And I had to make it work. It occurred to me to make her part of my creative process. What did I do? I asked her to come over to the studio. And while I was creating the song, I told her that there's a part of the song I feel her voice would be perfect for. It was just a chant, but I made sure she was part of it. Her voice was in it, right? Now that her voice is inside the jingle, she can't hate it. Because if you hate it, you hate your voice, right? And she was like, yeah, this is perfect. On our way home, she called again and be like, well, I'm like, yeah, but, this one is different. Listen to it again when you get home. And then when she did, she listened, she heard herself in it, and that was the end. If you ask me, I think it was one of the worst jingles amongst the ones I did. But for her, it worked. Why? Because now that jingle represents an extension of herself. You can't hate yourself. Maybe some people can, but So making your fans or your audience an active part of your creative process makes them take ownership of your music. If you see sometimes, I don't know who did this recently. I don't know if it was Johnny or someone who made his fans write some part of his music. Fields did it too, right? Now, if I wrote a line that was in that song, there's no way I wouldn't want to hear it. That's now my song. You can't yab it. It's my song. I'm the writer, right? It's just a line. He could have thought about it. He didn't need your input, but he made you feel heard, made you feel seen, made you feel important. So always think about ways that you could include your audience in your creative process. Whether it's playing, 5 songs that you already know the one you are going to release. Because, this is another thing. This is off topic, but sometimes as creatives, we have this overwhelming need where we feel like every song you do has to come out. It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. If you're looking for a 10-track album, I suggest you record 50 songs, right? So that way, when you're taking, the Thriller album by Michael Jackson, I heard had about 80 songs. Out of that, maybe they got 8 or 12 or something like that. So you need to be able. That's how you get albums and bodies of work that it's hard to skip. You won't be. You can't be at your best every day. So why do you think every song you record is great? It's not. Get besides yourself, or get people that you listen to, people that can tell you that this is not good, right? So you could even something as simple as playing 5 songs that you know are not good, and then there is the one you want to release, but you make the decision seem as though it's your fans making the decision, telling you drop that one. If they said drop this one, right, now it's their song. They are the ones that asked you to drop it. So always make sure that you carry your fans along in your creative process. I mentioned keeping them engaged off season, show them personality beyond music. So, ensure that they have how many of you have met Portable? I have. But before I met him, I felt like I knew him. Why? Because his personality shines through. You know how you sometimes meet some popular people, especially actors. This happens a lot with actors. You meet popular actors, and you just want to shake them and feel like they should know you. And you're like, hi, and they don't know you. But you feel like you know them because you've seen them in action a couple of times. And, that familiarity, it comes because they're able to show personality beyond just whatever they do, right? So you already feel like you know them. What are your tendencies? What are the things that when people see you, they just are able to associate certain things to you? There's this lady, forgotten her name. Or let me use. This that's personal, but there's if let's say I took a picture with Kanayo, right? I'm sure people, if I posted it, people will start saying, pray for your life, hope you're safe, shit like that, cause you feel like you know him, you feel like you know his tendencies. So make sure that you're able to leave it, bits of your personality out there that people feel like they know you. Next slide, please. Like I said, marketing is continuous. Never think it starts or stops when you release or you're not releasing music. Yeah, so engage with your fan base. This is a continuation of what I've just mentioned. Leverage social media and email marketing to engage with your fan base, encourage interaction through contests, behind the scene, everything. Now, know your strongest platforms. This ties back to what I was saying earlier. Aside knowing where your audience is, you have to also understand what your strongest platforms are, right? You can't be strong everywhere. So capitalize on your strengths. I hear a lot of people talk about working on your weaknesses. It's a thing, right? But no matter how much I tried right now, I don't believe I could run as fast as Usain Bolt. But the things that I can do very well. So when people say work on your weaknesses, I say capitalize on your strengths. Think about the areas that you are perfect or you are strongest, and make sure that you capitalize on those areas, right? Don't try to do everything. Don't try to do every social media. What's the one social media platform, or what's the one platform? What's the one place? If you are a great performer, what's the one place that you feel, that quality can shine through? So capitalize on your strengths, capitalize on your strongest platform to get your message across. Next slide, please. Right. So setting clear goals. Um, every marketing campaign should have clear goals. What you intend to achieve with every release. Different releases have different purposes. Sometimes you do a release to show people how versatile you are. Sometimes you do a release to consolidate on there's an artist that I'm working with right now. It's part of what I do is artist development. So there's an artist I'm working with. He has a song. How many of you know this song? I don't go love, I share. I don't go. Do you know King Rhapsody? You know the song? Yeah, so the song was picking up steam, and when we started to work together, he wasn't particularly, it doesn't feel like that's his sound, because he can really sing. He's got other types of music so when we are talking about, when we're talking about his music and saying, yo, this song, we need to do this with this song, he's like, yo, I've got other songs, and I'm hearing the other songs, and they really show that he can sing. So he's a good singer, but none of them blew up like this one. So should his next release be to show you that he can sing? Or should his next release be to capitalize on the attention that he already has? Exactly. So when you think about planning your release, you have to be very intentional about why you are releasing this song. Many times, don't think about yourself. It's very easy to fall into the trap for him now, if, let's say, we didn't have a larger team working with him, I'm sure he would be like, okay, this song's got me some attention. Let me quickly do a song that shows people that this is not what I am about. I'm actually a good singer. And then you guys hear that and you're like, well, this is not what we know. You go back and start playing the other one, or you don't even care. So it's important to understand why you are releasing why you're doing a release. If it's most times, if something works, you have to now react to that. I also worked with Keycard when they started off with Omale, and I could tell you that the songs that blew up at first were not the songs he wanted to blow up. They were not. He had other songs. As a matter of fact, at one point they had paid a deposit for a video for one of his earlier songs, and had to, scale back on that because the audience was feeling something else. So a lot of times you have to I'm saying set clear goals as to what you want to achieve, but also be very adaptable and react to the market. A lot of times you have the best minds in the room. Everybody's thinking, everybody's smart, everybody knows exactly what they want to do. But then don't forget to be very reactive. A lot of things are happening. A lot of these milestones, a lot of the biggest songs you've heard are very reactive. You see what the audience is feeling, you see what's happening, and then you're able to adapt your strategies to fit that. But always have clear goals, have reasons why you want to drop this song, why you want to do this right now, and not just, don't trust on vibes and inshallah. So, yeah. Set clear goals is you want to increase your streaming numbers, you want to gain new fans, you want to tell a story, just understand why it's important to do certain things at certain points in your career, and don't just release music because you have good music. It's beyond that, right? Get a team around yourself, plan, and know why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah. So I had two questions there. What would you do to reach new audience? Anyone? What do you think? What are some of the things you think you can do to reach a new audience base? Anyone? Please. Okay, yeah. So introduce your music to new people. Another great collaboration is very, very key. Very key. Because um, you get to benefit from the audience of someone else that you feel aligns with yours. It's very important. And some of you think about collaborations, especially up and coming artists. You often think about collaborations, you know, in the wrong way. A lot of times I hear a lot of young artists saying, they want to feature Bella Shmurda or Zlatan or one of those guys. I want to ask you a question. Tell me one, maybe there's one, but let's just see. One artist that has blown from featuring a bigger name, that actually blew up from featuring a bigger name. One and only. Okay, yeah, so who else? Think about MI. Blow up, proper blow up. Mm.
Like those that have already been established. You understand? But if you talk of Olamide now, Olamide has been given that grace. He has that grace. So most artists are not looking at it from that perspective. Like, I just want to sing with this artist. Which I have a lot of colleagues like that. They used to say those things that they wish to feature. I tell them that, guy, you need to understand your personality first before featuring any kind of artist. That, okay, I want to just feature the. What if the collabo does not blow up?
Aside that, yeah, the thing is, people are often looking for they're looking for no, I'm saying when people listen to music, yeah, I want to remember a song, so I'm looking for the easiest thing to remember about a song. If you're not already there, I will say, do you know that song that Olamide did is One Guy Like That? It's very easy to get overshadowed by these big names. It can help you, but at the end of the day, if you are not on the same level, it's like if I put on my phone's touchlight and put on my car's headlamp in front of it, you can't. It's a distraction. You can't see my phone's light. So when I think about, especially from way back, guys who blew up from nothing, if you think about them properly, Nice, MI, these people did not have to feature. I'm not saying they didn't feature. They did at some point. But you have to have, who are you by yourself? You need to, if you featured a very big artist without any buzz, think about Igbo Olamide features sometimes. Some of them already had some type of buzz. If you feature a big artist with no buzz, the only thing that's going to happen is there's one new song Olamide did is one guy. You're just one guy. So many times it's better to build yourself up. Even in terms of the promo, when you do a song with a very big artist, if you are nobody, they won't put their back into it. They won't post. They won't do, you are the only one that'll be running around saying, I did a song with this person. Do you get? So you will become that guy on your own song. So when you think about collaborations, many times, it's best to do it with somebody on your level or slightly above or with a diverse audience. So be very intentional about your collaborations. Why are you doing it? Do you feel like this person's audience will, your audience and this person's, or your music will appeal to this person's audience? Would you get more fans? You get what I mean? Portable featuring, imagine Portable and Asha doing a collaboration. Like, Asha's fans will not listen to Portable. Well, Portable is an anomaly, but you have to often think about you have to think about your audience. If the songs that you are releasing will be, did you want to say something? Okay. If the songs you are releasing will be readily consumed by the person you are featuring, that person's audience rather. So always think about the audience and be very intentional about your collaborations. But it's a very great way to, reach new audiences. You wanted to say something? Hmm? Okay. So I'll just go through because we're going to have Q&A afterwards. So let me just go through quickly. All right. So next slide. Right. Portable don't show. So do we know these two guys? You know both of them very well, right? Um, everyone knows this guy, but everyone knows this person. Um, so I did this, to talk about crafting a compelling story. Next slide. I'm not sure what's next. All right. So these two guys they have interesting careers. This one's got an endorsement deal. This is Olakira, for those of you who don't know, the guy who sang Hop in My Maserati. He he has an actual deal with Maserati. The song peaked at number 6 in the Afrobeat chart in UK. The original video's got 57 million views. The feature with the video's got 93. He's got 31.6 million streams on Spotify alone. And some of you didn't know him. This guy has Zazu. And right? And you all know him. I mean, I didn't know that we'll be talking about Portable before this slide, but we already started talking about him. Now, that's what a strong brand story is. You know him, Zazu. You know his tendencies. If you walked in here now, I'm sure you guys will hear him already. Like, that's what a strong brand. That's what strong branding is about. Yeah, so it's very important that people are able to visually identify you, because that's one of the strong points. I didn't know Portable. I was hearing the name, but I didn't know. I didn't have an image in my mind until I saw it. And when I saw him, I could not unsee him. First of all, there's the iconic hair, right? It is iconic. What did you say? I could easily make an action figure with Portable, and if I showed it to you anywhere, you know this is Portable. But I can't do the same for this guy. Like, it could be anybody. So a very strong visual identity is important when you're trying to roll out, when you're trying to do, it's very important that people are able to, just see you and become unable to forget you. You have to be able to make an impression. I've been a victim of this before, and maybe now still. I remember I was at I was in Cool FM at the time, and I just produced for the Prince, and so he came in. He told Dotun to go get his song in production studio. So Dotun came over. So Dotun just met me. I was there with K-Switch and a couple of other guys. And Dotun was like, Tyrone, please do XYZ. So he went back. By the time, I had not met K-Switch. I had not met the others in Mohit at the time. No, it wasn't Maven then. And the moment he said that, K-Switch was like, whoa, Tyrone is here. And guess what? He went and he shook my friend's hands. AK, you know Snozy? He shook Snozy. Snozy looks like a producer. He's got the hair, he's got the look. I used to dress up with shirts and trousers back then. I didn't look anything like what I do. So it was very easy for, um, I mean, someone to just. So you need to look like what you do. You need to look. As an artist, you have to look artistic. Sometimes you see someone who maybe you haven't heard. If you see an artist dressed properly with proper branding, you probably have not even heard what he has to sing, but you already feel like this guy can sing. He hasn't done anything. You just have that feeling. Dotun has been doing hype man. He's been a hype man for a long time. But when he dyed his hair, it just felt like he became better. But it's the same thing, right? So it's important that you are very, very always try to stand out. Always try to do something that when you, as an artist, you don't need anybody to say you're an artist. When you come into the room, they know, they feel you. It helps. Because the way the human mind works is, not everything is an input. You already make your impression about, you have your impression about your preconceived notion about somebody before they say something. If I think somebody is a funny person, the person doesn't have to say much. I just start laughing already because I feel like this guy is already funny. God, this is XYZ, So yeah, it's important to be very very intentional about your branding, how you look, right? Next slide. And then crafting a compelling story. Long before I heard Victoni's songs, I knew about the guy who had an accident, who was trying to sing, and that already piqued my curiosity because I wanted to hear what this guy sounded like because there was a story. Same thing, Davido's latest album has been his biggest album so far. And as unfortunate as it is, the story behind the album is one of the biggest reasons why. Because, something unfortunate happened in his life. He was off social media for a while. And then when he was coming back, he came back with this album. So a lot of people were, overwhelmed with the emotion, showed a lot of support. So that's just how it is with people. People remember stories and feelings. People remember how you make them feel than just your face. The reason why you see Possible and you remember him is because it makes you feel a type of way. Sometimes it can make you, for some people it's disgust, for some people it's like intrigue, for some people it's like, what the fuck? Excuse my French. Like, whatever it is, you feel something. The worst feeling is indifference. The worst thing that you can be as an artist is cause people to feel indifference. Like, you walk into a space, you're somewhere and, yeah, it's all right. I don't hate you. I don't like you. I don't think you are great. I don't think you're bad. But people remember how they feel about you. They remember what you make them feel, if it's great or if it's bad. But you have to. That's why you see sometimes, you see people who are looking for cheap attention on social media, they start to create a lot of, narratives. People now hate them. They start to say a lot of controversial things. It's because they need to emotionally stimulate you. You need to feel something. And sometimes getting people to hate you or feel, negative emotions is easier. So that's why some of these guys just run to that. As an artist, you're not trying to create negative emotions, but you are trying to make people feel something. It's important that in your release plan, as an artist, you need to be able to make your story relatable. And the truth is, I'll tell you, it doesn't have to be all true. I'm not saying go out there and lie, because if you lied, you will not be able to back it up, right? But there are certain things about you that you can garnish to make it. For a while, it felt like Victoni was not going to be able to walk again. So some of us could relate to that. Sometimes it's people dealing with depression. Sometimes it's, so what's your story as an artist? What is the thing that people will be able to see themselves in? What is the thing that will make me think and say, okay, even if I don't remember your name, if I say that guy that broke his legs, that guy, somebody will say Victoni. There is a story. So what is it about you that if I'm going to talk to somebody and I forget your name, what's the thing that I'll be able to say, the guy who right? Always have that. Let people be able to say, that guy, they can say something about you. It's very important. So go back to your drawing board, think with your team, and make sure that you find something that will make people feel something, right? That will make people relate to your story. It's very important. Something that, I mean, having a great song is one thing, but how am I going to get there if I don't feel anything? It's part of what you do to put your music in front of your audience. Next slide, please. Right, this is what we talked about earlier. Building a strong visual identity. So you need to be able to do that so that when people see you, I mean, part of what Rema does, for example, with the teddy bear, it doesn't even have to be in certain covers anymore. If you saw a cover now with just the teddy bear hanging, you already know who it is. There's a strong visual identity. There is association, right? So all create recognizable visual identity and make sure that it is, I mean, in order for people to remember you or remember it, it has to be consistent through your social media and every other space where you're putting out content. It's important to be very deliberate about it. The way you look, the way you dress, the way you know, everything, it has to be consistent. Even in terms of the places you are seen, right? You can go anywhere, but the places you are seeing, the kinds of people that are around you, especially for things you're going to put out, it's very important that they are consistent. That way, if I see an artist today in one club doing whatever, and then the next time I'm seeing you, you're in a corporate setting wearing a suit, it's like, who are you? Who is this guy? I don't feel like I know you. So ensure that you are consistent with the image you want to. Look at Ira Star. We always yabba about her short skirts. It's very intentional. She has a lookbook. Like she's supposed to look like a high school student. You know, this cheerleader look is consistent in everything she does. It's not by mistake. She doesn't just like to wear short skirts. She has a lookbook. So if I just put short skirt here now, without putting anybody, and say, who is this? You guys say Ira Star. Right? So it's things like that. What is the thing that if I put out? If I put the cap Odumodu, you know what it is. I didn't have time to do a long presentation, so I would have done that. If you just put certain things out, you just know who it is. That's what happens with strong visual identity. So as an artist, think about it very carefully. Don't just, freestyle and dress because you want to dress a certain way. It has to be all intentional. Next slide. Yeah, so creating strategic timeline. Plan a detailed timeline for release, including key milestones. So know when you're going to do everything. When you're going to drop your video, what exactly you are doing. Because a lot of times, in my role at 1RPM now, where I'm handling releases for a lot of artists, a question I've asked and I've seen that a lot of people don't know the answer to is when they have a great song and I'm like, okay, so what's your plan? They're like, yeah, we'll release this, we want to drop it on so and so date. You ask questions why, they don't even know. And then you proceed to ask what the plan is. When do you drop it? When are you doing your teaser? When are you doing your video? What are you putting out? They don't know. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to be fast. Let's go. Next slide. Maximizing distribution channels. This is what I do. So I've learned a lot in the last few months I've been at 1RPM. Part of what we do is, release strategies for artists. So when you're about to release songs, it's very important to plan your releases properly. Have a partner, or if you're doing it yourself, have somebody that's in charge of ensuring that your songs are in all the right platforms. Because otherwise, how are people going to get to it? Ensure that you have somebody who pitches ahead. Plan with the DSPs. If you're going to put, about 5K songs, 5,000 songs get released every weekend in Nigerian markets or more. So if you're going to release your songs, why would they give you a playlist when you are releasing your song today and you are dropping the song? I mean, I worked at Boneplay. I was artist relations at Boneplay, so I used to handle all the requests for releases. Sometimes, if I don't know beforehand, maybe this week I've planned Victoni and Fireboy. I already know what I'm going to give them in terms of visibility, and then somebody calls me a week two or 2-3 days and say they have a single. I'm not going to do anything. I'll just drop it there. It's just going to be there. Because I have my plan, right? I have limited assets. So understand that all the streaming platforms have limited assets. They have limited playlists. They have limited, platforms for exposure. So you need to ensure that with your distribution, you are working closely with them to let them understand so that they can pitch your songs beforehand and they are aware of when your stuff is coming out so they can plan appropriately and have space for you. Think about 5,000 releases and the person who has to, determine where what goes in a DSP, and you are telling me today that you want to release a song on Friday. It's late already. So always make sure that you maximize your distribution channels. Next slide. This is post-release measuring success. If you have your plans properly, sometimes you can release a song, and if your plan for that song was to get new fans, you may not necessarily have a lot of streams, but what's important is, did you reach new regions? When you look back at your back end, maybe now you have 2,000 new listeners in Ghana. Is that a successful release or not? Exactly. So you are not always. So when you are very intentional about why you are releasing a song, you know what you are pushing. You know where you are marketing. So somebody else might look at you and say, your last song had 100K streams. This one has 50,000. But you know that from the 50,000, 10K is in Ghana, and that's what you're looking to achieve. So always make sure that at the end of your release cycle, you and your team, you sit down, you use data. I mean, it's available to everyone now, thanks to technology. You use data to look at, what the metrics are for your success, and you're able to know if it was a successful release or not. Next slide. Guess that should be it. Yeah. Right. So, right on time. That's most of what I wanted to talk to you all about today. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Mr. Tyron. A round of applause for him. Thank you so much.
Okay, sit down.
Okay, so we are going into the Q&A session now. If you have questions, you can just signify. We'll have the sound team pass around the mic. And if you don't want to speak, you can just write down your questions. They will pass it across here for Mr. Tyron to answer. So before we take the first question, I have two questions for you, Mr. Tyron. The first one is, how can an artist, imagine artists now, how can they position themselves for distribution deals? So talking about putting out music, distribution deals, how can they position themselves then? Number two, what are the things that they need to put in place in talking about pitching for playlists on distribution platforms? Thank you.
So for distribution deals, the way it works is, what is the distribution deal? I think sometimes people don't get it. What really is a distribution deal? It's a loan. It is the understanding that I'm releasing a song today, and I know that with maybe 10 million naira, I could do a lot. I could release on the platforms I want to. I could do the promotion I want to do, but I don't have the money now. But I want to get XYZ done. So what's the distribution deal? A distribution company comes along to say, we understand that you need XYZ amount of money. You need 10 million to get your release to where you want it to be, but you don't have the money now. So based off of what you are already earning, we're able to look at you and say, okay, you probably maybe you make 1 million naira in a month, just saying, from your streams and everything. Maybe you make 1 million naira in a month. So a distribution company is able to come and say, okay, based on the fact that you're making 1 million, but you're making 1 million a month, you're releasing a song in January. Are you going to wait till December to get 10 million naira to make a video? By then, nobody cares about the song. So what a distribution deal is we come and say, okay, yo, seeing that you make 12 million naira in a year, here is 15 million naira, so that you could do what you need to do now. Because we understand that the nature of releases, the nature of music in itself is very timely. So here's what you need to do now, and then we can now both recoup that advance that we've given to you. So it's just a recording and distribution advance for an artist to enable the artist do what they need to do. So how do you position yourself for that? Is by having successful releases, having a track record of successful releases that can easily be tracked, that we could look at and say, okay, this artist is making XYZ amount and has been able to keep his audience in a fairly consistent basis, so that we can now say, okay, based on what this artist is doing, we feel like if we did more marketing, more intentional marketing, and we do a bit more promotion, this artist can go from 0 to 20 or to 50. Right, so that's what it is. So in order to position yourself for it, you have to have successful releases. You have to have a track record of consistently successful marketing. You have to be able to engage. I mean, most of what I've said here, you have to be able to do those things on a consistent basis so that a distribution can look at you and see you as an attractive prospect, understanding that what you are doing now is by yourself. If we come in, we can scale this to a level that will be profitable for both of us. That's what it is.
The second one, the playlisting.
Okay, so playlisting. People are very obsessed with playlisting, as I found out. I'll say two things. One, it's not as important as you think. It's not. Because there is something I have found recently. Fans of a play. So I listen to... my favorite playlist on Spotify is... lo-fi music, right? I listen to lo-fi music. But I realized that I don't know what songs is taken in or out of the playlist. I just like the playlist. So I'm a fan of the playlist. It's an editorial playlist. Spotify puts whatever song there, and so when a song leaves the playlist or comes in, I do not know. I like the playlist. So playlisting is great, but it's not the surefire way to get you to where you're going to. So I'm saying let's not be so obsessed about playlisting. Playlisting will get you somewhere. People can discover your songs from playlists. That's true. Because there are some songs I find on that playlist and I'm like, okay, this is nice, and maybe I save it in my private, or I like the song. But I'm saying that the majority of the songs on the playlist, I don't care. I just know I like the sound I'm hearing. So to get into playlist, what you have to do is two things. Number one is, like I said in my slides, to pitch. You have to carry the DSPs. By DSPs, I mean the streaming platform. You have to carry the streaming platform along with your plans. Let them know in time when you're about to release something. Pitch, 1 month beforehand. If I keep there are some emails I get from some record labels when I was at Boneplay. I see a certain name. The first time they send the list, maybe they send an email with a big artist and then a small artist. I might not pay attention because I might be busy. But if I keep seeing that name in the emails for this happened with Moravi, by the way. I work closely with the guys at Sony, and to be honest, they were my personal friends, but they kept sending me emails about Moravi. I didn't really look at her. They will send the emails. I'll be like, yeah, no problem. But because, in those emails, they had important priority artists that they were releasing for. I had to take care of those. But I kept seeing Moravi, and at one point, I'm like, what's even this Moravi? What is a Moravi? Let me see. And I checked it out, and the music was good. So that's what, pitching is. That's part of what a distribution service like 1RPM can do. We keep you in front of the DSPs. We keep talking about your music. That's one way. The second way is by what you do after. A very clear example is Charlie Poppy. When Charlie Poppy came out, I was at Boomplay at the time. Um, I didn't put it on. I thought it was noise. I had important releases at the time, so I just thought, who is this? I never heard the name. I didn't know the song. I just left it. And then what he was doing outside in terms of the social conversation outside about the music, I was seeing Elon Musk trending everywhere. I was seeing what was going on. I'm like, who's this guy? I didn't even connect that it was Charlie Poppy. But because of what they were doing outside, the noise it was creating, I had to call that up. I'm like, yo, they said it's your guy. And he's like, he sent the email. I had to go back to check. I didn't pay attention at first. So what I'm saying is the two ways. There's one that you do where, up until your release by pitching. Then there's another one you do after the release. They might, because the thing about DSPs, like I said, there's a lot of music coming out. They might not give you what you want initially. But if you are consistent with your pitching, if you're consistent with your activation and your marketing, at a point, what people are feeling, every DSP, every streaming platform wants to feel like they have what people want to listen to. So if everyone else is feeling it and I don't have it in front of my store, I'm the one missing out, so I have to. A very clear example again is this song. What's this guy's new song? Nas Boy, the one he dropped in December. Umbrella. Umbrella didn't get, if you paid attention when it got released, it didn't get any, prime visibility on any of the streaming platforms. But they kept pushing. They pushed to the point where the streaming platforms was like, okay, you know what, we have to. And they started giving them visibility. So playlisting is great. Don't die on top of that mountain. It's okay. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Who is the first person we are taking? Okay, over there.
Okay, so I quickly want to ask, which distribution platforms are readily available for upcoming artists that they can always reach out to? Like, I feel in a country like Nigeria now, where we have more artists than even the listeners, I feel we should have more distribution platforms who are ready to listen to these people, give them an audience.
When you say listen, what do you mean?
Like, when they do their projects, they have access to these distribution platforms. They come, they do their pitching. Having to see as many artists as possible, like you said, 500. Determine, like, you are competing against 500 new artists.
5,000.
5,000 even. So that's a lot. And just 2 or 3 distribution platforms won't give all of them the access.
Yeah.
So what other distribution platforms, like bodies, that artists can reach out to anytime, any day?
So there is actually a lot of distribution platforms. But like with everything in life, there is limited resources. For example, I work at 1 RPM. I know how many calls there are days that literally I tell people on the phone that I am tired of talking. I've used up my words for today. I've said that thing several times. Like, I feel like I've said everything I need to say today. I can't talk again. Right? Think about, I couldn't speak with 5,000 people. So there is a lot of distribution platforms everywhere. There's AWOL, there is United Masters. There's a lot actually. But the way it works is, because there's limited resources in terms of manpower, just sheer manpower in terms of people that I can even speak to, what happens is, and also you don't want somebody who is not very interested in your music pitching it. I like to work with songs that I like. I like to work with musicians that I like. Musicians that I feel have potential. Because imagine if I was doing a release today, this week, let's say I was doing a release for Zlatan, who works at 1 RPM, and I'm doing a release for Bella Shmurda and Chike, and I'm doing a release for you. I'm not supposed to give you any less attention. However, if Zlatan drops his song, let's say it gets 10 million streams, as a business, we will get more money from that than if you dropped your song and let's say you get 20K streams, right? So it's the same attention I have. I have to think about sharing that attention for up-and-coming artists and blown artists because I have to deliver on the same level. So the way to do that is to prioritize, and we have to prioritize those artists who are already somewhere. But then that does not make me not pay attention to up-and-coming artists who I believe are the next best thing. So one way to have that access is to work on yourself. It'd be like make you go touch baby, not get anything. Right? As an artist, you have to position yourself in a way that is either you have something or you have potential. You have strong enough potential that I can say, you know what, I'm going to devote 50% of my time to Bella Shmurda, but I have 10% for you because I know that you are going somewhere with your music. So there's a lot. There's DistroKid that you don't even need to talk to anybody. There is TuneCore. So there's a lot of distribution service where you don't even have to talk to anybody. You can do your stuff yourself. Even 1RPM has a platform called Offstep. I encourage a lot of you to use Offstep. You know why? Because with Offstep, with DistroKid and the rest of them, the story is the same. Like you just keep doing your stuff until whenever. With Offstep, if you are doing your stuff with Offstep and you're making significant strides, an A&R from 1RPM can look at you and say, this guy has potential, and then move you to give you more support. So there is a chance that if you are doing it right at Offstep, you can get noticed. So Offstep is 1RPM's DIY platform. You do it yourself, just like DistroKid and TuneCore. But then, like I said, you have a chance of being noticed. So yeah, there's a lot of distribution platforms, my brother. If you just Google, you'll find plenty.
All right, thank you. Next questions, please. We want to make it very brief. We're running out of time.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, AK.
My name is AK Street. So I'm here to contribute a little because I won't take your time anyway. So for an advice to all the new talents, I don't call them upcoming. I think it makes not to come. So for new talents, I've been here for over 15 years anyway. I'm a couple of a big artist, and the same story. This same question keeps coming every year. Anywhere I am, I didn't know more distributions. How will I blow? So let me just give you this few advice. First, let your enemies like your song. Let your enemies what? Like your song. Use that Facebook account. Post it there. Do that Instagram. Post it there. Everybody keeps saying pitch, and I laugh. You keep saying pitch. Pitch is like saying that my song on Sound City. It won't make you blow. If your song is on Cool FM, doesn't make you blow. Does other stations still play your song after Cool FM play your song? So I'm advising you to pick up your unit cells. I call them unit cells. That's the small units around you. Tyrone will discover you when the gate man is singing your song. Why is this guy not opening my gate? And I hear one song. He will get pick interest from that guy. You need to start understanding that music is beyond just want to be on top 10. Leave all these top 10 billboard. It's not by top 10 billboard. Since Cape Town Portable. It's just believing in your art. You need to put in so much work that they will find you from London. Don't just wake up and say you want to be on Guardian and Vanguard. Find these little blogs your friends are posting. Make Music Lagos has been running for over 9 years. I've been following them. This is my first time coming up physically. And I've been seeing this. I'll join online. I just keep seeing this. And I wanted to come because my friend. So the guy sitting down there can change your life for doing one thing. Get contact. Release new songs. Don't say that song I released last month. I just dropped a new. Keep dropping the song. Casey dropped 15 songs to get Limpopo. 15 songs with 9 videos. So don't think music business is cheap. It's not cheap. It's from blood, sweat, and grace. Akwe grace.
All right, thank you so much. We'll be taking 2 more questions. Please make it brief. Him and you, the last person. This is the last person.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Lawrence. So I want to just ask one question. We understand it's the streaming farm. I have issues with that one very well. But yes, we understand that a lot of top artists, like, they do that to sell their first week, to get to the billboard and everything, all the tops, this thing. Um, I just want to ask one question: is that encouraging for like an artist in your own perspective? You are well knowledge.
No, it's not.
Yeah, can you just give us an insight into streaming farm?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know much about it. I don't know much about it, but I mean, from what you say,
Yeah.
it can be encouraging, right?
Yeah, it can be encouraging, but why do like top artists they like this do that with? Okay, okay, I can mention names like the likes of Drake, the likes of American artists. They do that to sell their first week. Nigerian artists. Okay, I should come back to base. They are much now. We know them. I should call them. I don't want to call them. Oh, they might be my helper tomorrow.
So
But
here's
let me
the
not
thing.
call them.
Let me tell you something about
Yes, sir. Thank
this,
you.
this perceived stream farming and all that. Let me tell you something. Yeah, don't do it. It's better to, if you have 2,000 listeners, you know that you have organic 2,000 listeners that will play your song, that will buy your albums, that will come to your shows, that will pull up when you tell them to. Forget about what other people are doing. You're not in a race with them. You're in your own personal race. Do you want to stream farm or you don't want to? If you want to do your stuff yourself, focus on growing your audience organically so that what they are doing does not concern you, right? If you have somebody with 10 billion listeners, it does not take away from your listeners. I mean, in this same industry, Burna Boy is getting listeners, Davido, Wizkid, Omar, Fireboy, they're all getting listeners. The fact that I listen to Shay Vibes does not mean I won't listen to you, right? So understand that you are on your own race. Don't really focus on what any other person is doing. Just make sure that when you get your own 10K listeners, they are actually 10K people. That's what organic growth is about, really.
Okay, we'll be taking the last question. Please, can you pass the mic to him?
Can I take one more question from a girl? Because, like, no girl has
that's
asked any
true.
question.
Do you have any lady in the house that will ask a question? Please, don't be shy. Any lady? Any Ira star or...
Go ahead. No, go ahead whilst we try
good
to...
afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah. Okay, you said something about when an artist get a song and it blows up, and then it makes more sense to create something that feels in line with the previous song that blew up.
Yes.
What if, just like you said, what if that betrays the artist's brand, the artist's personality?
Okay.
And
So I'll ask you, let's assume you are the artist. I'll ask you the question: why did you do it in the first place? If it betrays your personality,
okay, so
why would you do something that betrays your personality?
artists make songs? Sometimes
Exactly.
it's just
So
a
if
vibe.
you did it, it means that it's in you to do it.
But audience are the biggest use and dump. They can use you for a hit song and or dump you.
When you don't
That's
do the
what
when you
they
don't do the
want.
right things, exactly. So if you give as long as you are giving the audience what they want. So I don't mean to say a lot, but back in school, I used to play drums, right? I could play very well. Whenever they would give me time to make a drum solo, I would go crazy. But then I started hearing that there was one guy called Ola that was a better drummer than myself. Ola comes to watch me play. I went to meet Ola to watch him play one day. And I saw Ola doing the simplest things. And that's when I realized that it's not about how good I am. Ola knows I'm good. Ola knows I'm better. What does the audience think? The next time I went to play and I had to do a drum solo, I did bing, 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 bing. And the audience responded. It's not about me. Do you want to make great music for yourself and lock yourself in the room and listen and say, oh, I did sing? Or do you want the audience? So at some point, a great artist is an artist that has found the balance between what you like and what you can do and what the audience likes. So if you find something like that, you are amazing. If you find something that the audience likes more than you, fine, do because it's about the audience. You're not doing music for yourself. My favorite genre of music is jazz. If I sometimes DJ. If I came here to DJ, I think I'm going to play jazz for you guys. You guys will stone me pure water now. I can't do that. So it's not about once you become an artist, you are not remove yourself from the artist. You are not. Do you get what I mean? There is you. There's your real name, and then there is the artist. Portable is not his real name. There's the artist. So what do people want to see from the artist? You give them that. If you could do it, it means that it's in you to do it. So it's not betraying yourself. It's following the market.
All right, thank you. Last person.
All right. Thank you very much for the amazing session. My name is Seal.
You're welcome.
Want to ask a question about
Seal.
Yes.
Like
CILL.
Okay, great.
So, would you advise you've spoke about growing organically?
Mm-hmm.
Would you advise an artist that has not grown organically to an extent to take a huge investment? Do you think it's wise?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because, first of all, anybody who's giving you that kind of investment is going to, it's like business, right? You don't have leverage. If I come to you now to give you, let's say I come to you with $100,000, because you haven't gotten anywhere, I can take whatever I want for that amount of money from you. But if I go to Fireboy with that kind of money, he'll probably not take it. Not that he won't take it. But let me think of somebody. I mean, so it's better to build so that you will have a voice, able to negotiate some things in your interest. Because if you don't, if you are nowhere, there are certain people that I have approached with distribution deals that have told me no, and I'm proud of them for telling me no. Not because I feel like they made a great choice in not taking the deals, because the deal was actually going to help them, but because I am proud that they feel like, I mean, if you are here, what you can ask for is different from what you are here. They want to get more, and they feel like if they grew a little bit more, I will come to them with a better deal, and they feel like they can get there themselves. So as an artist, always look at yourself, look at your circle and what you can achieve by yourself. It helps in people's evaluation of you and what people will be willing to throw to the table, and your leverage in how you can negotiate to keep some things in your interests.
All right, thank you.
Did that answer your question? Great.
Yeah, we have one more extra question. Mama Charles, special request, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I came in late. I was trying to catch the
You
session.
want to answer the question?
No, I want to ask you. At what point, let me stand up maybe, at what point do you go from being brutally honest to nice and kind when you're addressing an artist who has reached out to you or sent you music or wants to know, can you listen to my song? What do you think? Be honest. At which, you're laughing already, so you know where I'm coming from. Do you sort of let them know exactly what it is? Are you nice and kind, or do you hang in the balance, or do you just tell them so that you stop them dead in their tracks? It seems like you're doing a wicked thing at the time, but I always felt that brutally honest is the way to go. But a lot of people tell me, I know shows you can't do that. Oh, mama, this is my song, put me in your playlist, and I'm thinking, I don't like the song, something's not right. But do you go ahead and do you tell them, or do you edge in between?
It's very difficult to navigate. It's very difficult. I've had to tell some people, brutally. I have not exactly enjoyed when I have. A personal story, I met some girl who was at the time doing backup. She was doing backup sing. She was a backup singer for a blown artist, and I was backstage, and she came to me and said hi, and I'm like, hey, and she's like, I probably have to tell you, Yeah. So
all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tyrone. We have come to the end of this session.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
How we all doing? How we all doing now? It's fine. I'm not feeling this vibe. If you just got germs, please just do like this. After all the things that have been said today, come on. That was awesome. I learned a lot. So for our session, this is tete-a-tete, heart-to-heart. Before we move into the panel session and then also continue with Q&A afterwards. So I'm going to start again. Earlier, before this room became filled up, I had asked a question. I'd asked how many people were here for the first time. Like, this is the first time you're at a Make Music event. First time at a Make Music event. And the producers take these, sounds and use it to create a beat. And there are so many people that still don't know about that, even though they've been following Make Music for long. So we did Street Studio. We also did Learn to Play, where we partnered with music schools. These music schools will go to malls and also other schools as well, mostly government schools, because we have a I don't want to say partnership, but yeah, sort of with the Lagos State government, and we went to government schools to teach music for a couple of days. And, they were teaching different types of instruments, the violin, we had, voice training, we had drums, a lot of musical instruments. So people and the general public and some of the students use this as an opportunity to be able to just rekindle their, love for music, either through playing an instrument. Now, we also had other events. I'll come back to the Learn to Play to share for few minutes. I don't know. I know I don't have a lot of time, but is there anybody here? So I can move forward. All right. All right. So for this town hall, I have a few questions. And one of the reasons that I said we came about doing the town hall was to get people's feedback. If you play in the music ecosystem, what are the kind of things that can, that people can provide support for? What are the things you need to be able to take you to the next level, right? And it's beyond money, because you also heard in the first session, someone can throw money at you, and at the end of the day, nothing, right? Yes, everybody needs money. Me, I need money. Who does not need money? Who needs money? You don't even know if I want to dash everybody 1 million, 2 million, 10 million. Who needs money? All right. So I'll be asking a few questions. I won't be able to ask all my questions now because we have a next session. After that session, we'll then continue the Q&A. But I want us to have, heart-to-heart conversation. Let's know what it is that you need. So I'm going to kick off with that. My first question. Please, do we have the microphone? All right. What's the most significant challenge that you face in creating and distributing your music? Creating, producing, and distributing your music. Anyone wants to go? Greatest challenge? You don't have any challenge? Please.
Hello.
Hi.
Do I need to stand up or don't need to stand up?
Please, you can stand up so people can see you.
All right. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is King Boy. The main challenge I actually have is when the song is finally out, based on your distribution and all, your songwriter royalties, what type of PROs do you trust to sign up with to get your royalties as songwriters? That's just my
Okay, for songwriters. Please, are we taking note of that? For songwriters.
Yeah, that's just one.
So you want to know how you can get your royalties? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Did you sign any? Are you the one creating the full music, or did you collaborate with someone?
Yeah, if you are the one that created the full music, produce the song, do the
produced
beat,
it, you released it.
like, what type of PRO do you think can help you get your stuffs back, like as a songwriter, not just as a distributor and an artist too?
But you own the whole catalog, right?
Mm,
Like, when a songwriter writes a song, there's difference between composing and writing. So there are some people that can compose and write. So what he's trying to say is that what kind of deal is he going to sign to get his royalties? There's what we call split sheet and
Yeah, so
collaboration
I
sheet.
understand that, but I'm
Yeah.
asking the question of, you're the one who sang the song.
yeah.
You're the one who,
Produce the
please,
song.
the experts are in front here. You produced the song, you wrote the song, and you sang.
Yeah.
But you're asking how you can collect royalties on
Songwriting.
songwriting.
Yes.
Okay, maybe somebody will answer that question
Okay.
later. But then again, at the end of the day, you're looking at how to basically get your royalties from your song, and also looking at distribution. If I'm correct.
As a songwriter.
As a songwriter.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Please, let's take note of that question. All right. Any other person wants to go? Challenge that you're facing. There's somebody. Okay. This is.
So where I'm having challenges now is producing. Why record mix and mastering? So when you finish writing a song at the same time, getting a good sound for it, but producer never get to mix and master your song properly for you. You have to mix from one place to another. So that is a big challenge.
Okay, a big challenge, mixing and mastering for producers.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Boylogic, and the question I want to ask is related to production also.
Okay.
Like in a situation where, as an artist, you have an idea in your head, something you're trying to create, and you don't produce. Sometimes it's challenging finding like a producer that can reason with you and try to implement what you're trying to put out.
So finding a producer is difficult for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Finding a producer. Any other person you want to share the challenge that you're facing? This is an opportunity for you. You don't know what will come out of it at the end of the day. So I'm assuming other people here don't have any challenge.
Let me speak on behalf of my experience. Most artists face. There's a lot of artists I've seen that after releasing their music, they don't have opportunity to perform.
Okay. Opportunities to perform. Are there other models that you see in maybe other creative, other sectors of the creative industry, and you feel, it would be good if you can apply this in the music industry? Anyone? Anybody? See, anybody that comes to make music, to send one long email. We are here asking you directly, oh. If you send long email, in fact, I'll be the one to answer you directly. Please, ask the Make Music team. How is my response? Very nice, Abby. Okay. All right. So in terms of education and professional development, what areas do artists and music professionals feel, they need more education or skill development in? I know we pick topics every single year and we're like, let's come and tackle this. But what area do you think you need more education in for skill development? Hello.
For me, as a music producer, I would prefer more likely focus onto the business, because my experience as a music producer, uploading beats on YouTube got to a point I was depressed at one moment, because imagine releasing about 5 beats on YouTube, you get, and I just like, let me use one of those beats to feature on probably social media and all that, and I'm seeing copyright infringement. I'm like, what? Yo, 5 of them gone, same person. And now listen, as the technology is growing, there are different ways now you can make a music, put your vocals, and the person will erase your vocals. Your tag is gone. I'm like, yo, I'm this kind of person that I hate trouble. So you get, when I see something, I spoke to the guy, he was still doing, and I'm seeing you are getting how many 200 listeners on the track. I'm like, just wasted this my project, and it just killed my vibe. I stopped it. So I'm like, now channeling my energy towards another aspect, but now I need to understand the business more. So that, I think the business is more like a game. You are playing football. Who wins? You understand? So I think that will be.
I mean,
Thank you.
from what I'm hearing, like, you just love creating, so you're just creating and putting it out there. You didn't IP. Okay. Now is there. Okay. All right. Okay. So, in terms of community, maybe I should start with mentorship first. Are there mentorship programs that you are aware of currently in the music ecosystem? Mentorship programs, and do you think that that's beneficial to you, or that would be beneficial to you? Nobody. Anyone wants to go? Are there mentorship programs currently that exist, and do you think a mentorship program will be beneficial to you? Just raise your hand, please. Okay.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Mentorship is necessary in every situation, right? I don't know if anyone knew of TomTom mentorship training recently or last year, right? It was actually sponsored by TomTom and some other people in the industry. So I took the course. It's an online course, actually. Then I really feel if we ourselves can look into free courses online, that will help us, instead of sitting down and waiting for advert or something. You make your research yourself, right? There are courses on. I took a course on also Coursera, right, on talent management, how to build music brand and stuff. So there are like a lot of opportunities online if you make your research, right? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Any other person? You have one. I have another person there. So I'll ask the last question before we get into this other session. Also, just to, you can join the conversation using this hashtag. And we would also be putting up a QR code for you to actually, I know some people are shy, some people are like, I don't want to hold the mic. But whatever it is, we have some of these questions already in a form, so you can scan the QR code and put your responses there.
So concerning mentorship opportunities, I know of one, Create Your Future by Akinyemi Law. I haven't taken part in it, but I think it's a beautiful structure. There's a community of creatives, people who have gone far, people who are just starting, and there's courses, there's courses, and at the end of one I know of, you have to perform to get a certificate. You have to have held or had a show and sold about 100 tickets to perform to get your certificate. So I feel like that's an opportunity that artists can look into to build proficiency. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Olatunde. So I think I want to come from a different angle, particularly personally, I'm someone who's coming up with talent management, right? So for those of us on the back end, the industry is very informal, so those who actually get to do the work, who get mentorship, is very informal. You have to know someone to know someone, so it's very much connection-based, right? So if you don't know anybody, then you're pretty much left high and dry, right? So I feel like that's one challenge, particularly for people who are not exactly artists, who want to, do the work, right? There are courses online, as someone rightly mentioned, right? But these things are largely theory, so where do you build the experience? So I think that's where there's a challenge for some of us, particularly for those people in the background.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is Bola. I just want to make it known to everyone that I'm a DJ, so you guys can send me your song. I can be helping you jam in it. You get so. I play in a hotel and other big clubs on the island.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fortunate. So when he said something about going online, I remembered something. Recently, I'm learning talent management because apparently there's somebody I'm managing. And what I did was I looked at my peers because sometimes you might not really have access to like those on top. But we always have those around us, our older friends. So I reached out to Mr. Ale because he's been in the game for a while. And basically everything he told me to do, I've been doing them. So I mean, you can always ask your friends that, have more experience in what you're doing. And of course, you're here. So he said he's a DJ. If you want to start something like that, just ask your peers first before you start asking up. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Is there some... Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muftal. So I think I want to buttress what he said earlier, but in a kind of a little different fashion. So he said the industry is largely informal. So, and it was even making making a reference to the fact that these courses online, they are purely theory. So irrespective, if you look at, take for example what the OG in glasses in front over there said earlier, that AKM's law course. Now, you see some of these courses, there are ways by which you can build that connection, that rapport. Imagine when you get a course from me, you have that access after the class. There is guidance. So for this particular course, for the course in particular, I know about it because, I've worked with the person he's talking about. I'm a lawyer. So that kind of creates the rapport that after the class, you can always reach out. Sorry, I need to know this. So there's usually this sort of informal rapport after going through with those stuff. So even after learning the theory, you can always reach out afterwards and say, hey, can you point me in the right direction for this? So that helps as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Final question before we get into the next session, and that's about tools. So when you're creating music, right, or whatever it is that you do, whether as a talent manager, the legal aspects as well, whether you're writing a song, whatever it is that you do in the music ecosystem, what do you think if you had maybe the right tool, right, you would make that particular work easier for you? Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah,
I think I'm an artist, so I feel like the studio time for me personally is kind of on the high side. So most of the time I have songs on my head or the ones that I've written, so that I would like to perform sometimes. But the studio time and this thing is not there to actually carry it out.
Okay, studio time. Okay, tool. Something that can make your work or whatever it is you do in the music ecosystem, something that can make it easier or faster.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sparrow. I'm an artist. So I think having a creative partner, like a constant creative partner, will boost whatever it is you're doing.
Okay, so when you say creative partner, please can you expatiate?
Like, I write, I sing. So sometimes I get stuck.
Okay.
Like, when I'm doing this, I just leave it somewhere and I'm okay. I'll come back to it. But most times when I collaborate with my peers and, I have the song, let me just send it to you. Like, it boosts my progress and my scope of how I do things.
Okay. All right. Someone else.
Hi, good afternoon once again. I didn't have the opportunity to introduce myself before. I'm Senegal, talent manager and a music executive. So my piece of advice or an answer to everything everyone has said is, first thing, you need to invest in yourself, right? You can't be an upcoming artist and you're using iPhone. What's the latest iPhone now? 15 Pro or something, right? You're using that iPhone and you can't get yourself a gear to record yourself, right? What's the essence, right? Thank you very much. Second thing is, it really makes sense you build a team, right? And you should start small. You can find your friends that might not really be into music, but the person is creative. The person does not have to be a producer. The person could be your creative director, right? You can scout online for people that are actually doing very good, that don't have the number or the recognition yet. Partner with them. Tell them what your vision is. If they are in, they are in. If they are out, they are out. So I think building a team, investing in yourself, and also working with people around you is key. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Any other person before we go? Okay.
So, I still go by the name. I didn't even say my producer tag name, Potiphar. That's my producer tag name.
Okay.
So, yeah, just like, I don't know the guy that spoke from here. He said one point that as a producer, what I feel that will boost that aspect is, having an artist to grow with. It is very important as a producer. You cannot be looking at the end when you are still on the road. Looking at the end, I want to work with this guy, I want to work with this guy. Meanwhile, there is that artist that's beside you, that is there, that is good, that you can work to remove the money out first. It's the growth that you need. The plan is there, but the end result is the target. So, I mean, if you get an artist you can grow with, you get, as you grow with together, look at, for instance, now, Ashake and, what's his producer's name? This Amapiano headlord. Magic Six, thank you. You see how do you know since when they've been together? That kind of thing, having that artist you grow together will actually improve it. Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing is that I would like artists to work on one tool that can help them, content creation. A lot of artists I've seen are lacking in that area. You said that thing. It's very much more important. If you go to some artist Instagram, okay, what's your artist handle? No content there, nothing. Just only mere pictures and some synonymous this thing. So content creation is much more important, please.
Content creation, okay.
Okay, all right. My name is Wale Adeyemi. One thing I want to point out for emerging artists that I think we need to take seriously is songwriting. So, after going through all the stress of putting out music, spending money, and then at the end of the day, people cannot eat what you have cooked. I think it's really discouraging. So, I should tell artists, spend more time writing good music. It will save you a lot of stress. It will help you. It will make things easier for you if you have written a good music. So, which brings me to songwriting camps. I think artists should partner together with songwriters, producers. So, pointing to something, some of the things people have said, having a partner, organized songwriting camps. A lot of great songs can come out from there. A lot. So artists should do that within yourself. Just maybe like once in a quarter, just come together, write songs, write music. Like about 3 days, you can do like 50 to 100 songs. I'm just exaggerating now. So, and in those numbers, you can have like 2 great music. So that's just what I want to point out.
All right, thank you. Something that I'll just run. Okay, you want to say something?
Okay, yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chiki Martins. I am one thing that I've noticed in my years of doing music is networking and building communities. Like you have to know people. Like you can't do things in isolation. You have to get to know DJs, radio people, publicists, like get to meet people. That's why I'm here basically, because I think when I'm making all my research, yes, I've been able to have few numbers in some of my previous jobs, but based on my, like here in Lagos, like have I been able to reach out to people? I think that's why I'm also here, because I know that I was lagging in that side of music, in getting to meet people and share ideas. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I'll just close with this before we go to the next session. And of course, like I said, we still have some questions which we'll take after the second session. We just want to see how what we can do together, and if there are ways in which when we're going out to talk to other music stakeholders, we can look at the best way to create more impact, make your work easy, make your work faster, and also look at ways in which we can collaborate to lift each and every one of us up, right? So we do have an artist community. And for your artist community, do you have other stakeholders in the community aside artists? Okay. I know we have an artist community. And I know that there was a time you were hosting sessions around even let's listen to your music. Because I won't lie to you. When we started this make music journey, and every single time we want to match people to venues, in fact, there are a lot of things I heard that I cannot on here. Right? It was everyone can say no. I want to perform. There are some songs, and we will be there till like morning. Like during make music period, we're literally almost not sleeping, and we have to listen to different songs, and we're like, nah, I know that the artist community did something where the artists start giving people feedback on their songs. Right, you enter into those sessions, and then people actually give you feedback on your song. So I know as we keep going, the community will also try to do more for different parts of the ecosystem, and that's why we wanted to have this conversation. Right, what can we do, and how can we support as well? So thank you very much for being a great, I won't say great audience. Right, I'm hoping that people will wake up after. Should I get everybody to stretch? No. Yes. All right. We'll just go straight into the second session, and hopefully we can have more conversation on this. Thank you very much. Introducing Mrs. Adiola Akinyemi.
This audience is so cold. I don't know if it's the AC that is keeping it. It's the AC, right? It's cold, right? Should we take the AC down? Okay, so consensus, please, Mr. Femi, help us take the AC out. Okay, take it. Increase the temperature so it's warmer. Yeah, that's what we want, isn't it? So because it's keeping our audience a little chilled. We're not getting the complaint that we want. Hi everyone. Thank you all so much for coming. You guys have been amazing today. We're so happy to do this with you. My name is Adiola Akinyemi. I'm the project lead for Make Music. She kept on saying Make Music Lagos, but Make Music is now Make Music Nigeria. We're actually a registered not-for-profit. After we ran Make Music for about, I think it was 5 years, we realized that to get more collaboration, we needed to take it out of it was very fluid before. It was just a team of passionate people. So we then registered it as an NGO. So, yeah. So there was a question that she asked that I still want us to go back to a bit. And that I'm trying to, one of the key goals of this town hall is every year we do make music. And when I say we do make music, the organizer of Make Music, like she mentioned, we plan over a period of 6 to 7 months. And by the time it is March, our children, our original businesses go to the back and Make Music comes to the front. And when she says we work sometimes night and day, she really means it. But what we want to see is that work is really making a difference. You know how you can cook a meal and you cook the wrong meal for someone? You can sweat in the kitchen and you're not like, if I cooked you something you don't like, no matter how amazing it is and how much energy I put into it, you'll appreciate my efforts, but it's not meeting your need. Whereas if I just gave you a bowl of gari and ground, and that's what you really needed, it will make a big difference than spaghetti bolognese. Am I correct? So this is really important to us. So we're not going to go back to that. We're not going to ask you again, but we're going to put out that QR code on. Please, every year we organize the World Music Day celebration. I would like to know, how can we make a difference for you? Because that's the only reason why we're doing it. That's the biggest reason why we're doing it. It's a not-for-profit, so there are no salaries. It's strictly volunteer. Most of us have our 9 to 5 and our businesses. Some of us are entrepreneurs, some of us have our 9 and then we have amazing panelists who are entrepreneurs or business leaders in their own right who come to support. And most of the people that we have on the Make Music platform that support us, it's a support thing. They don't send us a check. So we want to make sure that what we're discussing are the things that you want to hear. Not nice talk that is not going to make a difference. So we're really, really about that this year. So please, can I put out that QR code again? Just take a few minutes, scan it, and then just type, what do I want? What can help me take my music to the next level? so to speak. Yeah, so I will take just about 10 minutes and then we'll come back to it because our panelists are already waiting. This session was supposed to start by 1 p.m. and we apologize. We're just 30 minutes. And thank you so much, Mr. Pat. Mr. Patrick came very early. Please, can we put that in together? I just want to highlight that. We really appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you all so much for being here. So the next session is this year's Make Music Lagos 2024, the 9th edition. We just want to share with you what this year would look like. Can I have... So you can take that down and put it back later on. So this year's Make Music, so every year we select events that we want to highlight. Sometimes we're able to do a lot of events. Sometimes we're able to do fewer events. It just depends on how much collaboration that we get. So this year's event, we're going to have the My Song Is Your Song. Remember when Susan talked about it? That's this global song exchange. It's a global song exchange. So you're going to be collaborating with, you could possibly be collaborating with an artist from another country. So we usually have, Make Music is a global event. So we're a member of that global alliance. So it's not just that we're organizing now as independents. We collaborate with other Make Music cities all around the world to organize the World Music Day. So if you're interested, you have a song you'd like to exchange with another artist, either from Nigeria or any other city, please join the My Song Is Your Song. I will share the dates shortly after now. Then the next event we have is the New Music Marathon that she mentioned. You've created music, you'd like your song to be heard on radio. Please join the New Music Marathon. That music marathon is actually a Lagos initiative, a Nigeria initiative. Some of these initiatives, like the My Song Is Your Song, is a Make Music New York initiative that we're collaborating on. But the New Music Marathon is a Nigerian initiative. And we're very proud of it because we realized that why we started this was when people say, I want to perform on the Make Music platform, we have who to perform is not the problem. Where to perform is always the problem. Every year, the registration portal, you have over 200 artists, but 3 venues. Where will we put them? And then we listen to the music and we're like, one of the things that Nigeria is not lacking is talent. There are so many talented people in this country. Absolutely, we're so blessed. And so we thought, if we can't give them an opportunity to perform, we can also give them an opportunity for their song to be heard on radio. But many people don't know how. And sometimes when you go to radio, you have to know somebody, and sometimes you have to rub palms, Abi? So we created the New Music Marathon initiative where we would lobby the radio stations to, on the World Music Day, play new songs that we curate for them. And then we also have the concerts. We're going to have concerts this year at various venues. Most of the concerts are what we call independent concerts. They are as a result of collaboration. So we have Muson organizing a concert in collaboration with the Make Music Lagos or Make Music Nigeria team, and so on and so forth. And then we're also going to have that means that. Can you go to the next slide so I'll see the next event? Yes, pop-up worship. That's a concert with a gospel bias. We realized that the gospel space in its own is really large. So before we used to have just one finale concert, apart from the smaller concert, just one finale concert, and then we'll have a mix of all genres of music, gospel and everyone. But the gospel, we know now that gospel music in Nigeria is a whole industry on its own, and that's how the pop-up worship. This is actually a collaborative event. We didn't create it, but we collaborated with a team of gospel artists to create this concert. The next event. Next slide, please. Okay, Music Business Conference. This is a mini Music Business Conference. So we usually have something larger than what we have today. And for us, it's really important. We need to have conversations. Beyond performances, we all agree that we need conversations, we need networking, we need opportunities for people to know how to convert that talent to money. When that line is missing, it's always a problem. It becomes frustration, isn't it? Like you're really talented, but you can't make anything out of this talent. So that's what we're trying to do with the Music Business Conference. The next slide, please. Yeah, so then we have the finale event as usual this year. This year, the finale event is going to be a combination of what we call mass appeal. They will show a short video of that. So the mass appeal is Make Music Boston project. So what happens is you have a large band, as opposed to one artist performing with a band or with a couple of musicians. You have a large band of different bands, coming together to create a song that has been created by maybe a producer. I will share a video about that shortly. Next slide, please. So now we're going to go to dates. I want to show you I'm trying to rush. We'll make this available to you guys. I just want to show you what the dates this year looks like. The World Music Day. Who knows the World Music Day? Who knows what the World Music Day is? Who knows? Who knows what the World Music Day is? This is a very new crowd. You've never been to Make Music before. Let me see your hands. Or any Make Music events. Wow. We're happy. We're happy that we have this new crowd. We hope you guys will keep staying with us. Who knows what the World Music Day is? June 21, yes. So the World Music Day is June 21. And that week, so initially, we will try to pack all the events to that June 21. In fact, the first 2 years, we had our finale event on the June 21. Whether it was a weekday or not, we'll have the event there. But we realized that Nigeria is a very big country. Let us not lie. We are many. Do you understand what I mean? And we're so many of us, and then we're so many talents, so many events that we wanted to showcase, and then we spread it across the week. And when we did, because with the Make Music Alliance, all the events used to be, when I say alliance, I'm talking about other countries, all the events also used to be one day. So when Nigeria went and said, sorry, one day is not enough, it seemed like we dragged everybody else. China said, that's true, one day is not enough. So if you go to the Make Music Alliance page, you see some cities do only one day, but countries like China, I think Mexico, and a couple of us, we spread our events across the week. Next page. The real media. Back one page. Just go back one page. Okay, so this is what So this is what this year looks like. The My Song is Your Song is usually a couple of days long because, we have artist matching and people will be putting out the songs and people do their covers. So that runs all through from June 17 to June 21. June 19, on Wednesday, is our music business conference. The pop-up worship actually starts Make Music on Sunday, June 16th. We have the New Music Marathon that I mentioned on radio. Usually the June 21 that we have that, but we're spreading it across the week this year because we're hoping to collaborate with more radio stations. So usually you have some radio stations will say, no, Friday is no go for us. I'll give you Saturday or Wednesday, whatever. We're just happy to have the time to share your music. And then the finale event is in June 21 this year. That's on Friday. We're happy that June 21 falls on Friday this year, not on Wednesday when we now have to move the concert to. So we're so delighted that it's June 21. And then let me quickly highlight that event. That's the Olympic relay. So the Olympic this year, how many of us know that this year is Olympic year? Musicians, we don't know anything. We don't even get involved in what is happening in the world. We're just... You guys need to know what's happening in the world, okay? Don't just be stuck in the studio. If you're stuck in the studio, you won't even know that there are opportunities. There are opportunities to collaborate with other things. There are ways that other things and other industries can highlight music. So come out there a little, as they say. So this year is Olympic year. And the Make Music Alliance is collaborating with the Olympiad team in France to, the way I can paint the picture is, the Olympic torch passes from country to country and then ends up in the country that is hosting. You know what they call the Olympic torch, don't you? You know that one, hallelujah. Okay, so this year we're going to have like an Olympic relay. So we're going to pass the music torch from country to country and then end up in France, which is the host year. And that will be on June 21. And not every country is participating. Not every country. We have over 1,000 cities, so not every Make Music city is participating. But this year, Nigeria is participating in that Olympic relay, and we're so delighted that we get to be a part of. So go to the last page, just second to the last page, so I can just show them how the Olympic talk is going to pass. The page that shows, so this shows Make Music cities that participate every year. I just want you to go to the last page, second to the last page. I'll tell you when to stop. So we can see the other cities that have Make Music every year. Okay, next page. That's Nigeria, by the way. Yes, and I think that's Nigeria up there as well. Second to the last page. I just wanted to show us how the train is traveling, just so that we can get a picture. There's a timeline of how the train is traveling. Yes, so this is we're going all the way from New Zealand, Germany, and ending up in France. Who can find Nigeria? So that's where we are. So and we're so excited. We feel so proud of ourselves that we made it to this list. So, and those of you that participated in Make Music this year, you get to be a part of the Olympic event. I was going to play the mass appeal video, but I really think we should cut it here and then have the sessions. And afterwards, we'll do a bit of conversation. So we're so delighted to have you guys. All the work that we're doing is because we want to contribute to the ecosystem and make a big difference. And I think over the years, we've seen, one of the things that Susan was trying to ask, I don't think she got to that, was, to find out here if there are any Make Music artists. We call them Make Music artists. We claim you by force. Make Music artists who have been on the journey with us, and if the things we have done have made any impact. Hopefully by the time we come to the end of the session, we can have those conversations. You really see whether we're just sweating or whether we're making a big difference. So thank you all again. In between the session, we're going to take a 3 minutes restroom break while we get the panelists ready. But in between that, we're going to be playing a playlist, and all the songs there, I think apart from a few, are from Make Music artists. When I say Make Music artists, that's artists who work with us on our platform. So thank you all so much. Thank you for coming. Three minutes restroom break, and then we come back. Our panelists are getting ready. They've been waiting, so please don't stay too long. And we also have bottles of water outside if you want water, but you can't take the water in, so just take the water, take a drink, and then you can come back.
Lift up a sound you're feeling. Let the rhythm from your heart be felt in every tune. Let the band play now. Gather round, come on, yeah. Let it flow from your heart to the wall. Let music lift up your heart. Let the band play now. This is Make Music Lagos.
So we didn't say go home, or we said restroom break.
Every sound from every heart, it's time to let it out. Raise a voice, we're singing. Lift up a sound you're feeling. Let the rhythm from your heart be felt in every tune. Let the band play now. Gather round, gather round. Lift up a sound from your heart to the wall. Let it out, yeah. Put your hands like this, come on, everybody say oh, oh. Say oh, oh. Play it out, say oh, oh. Let the music flow from within your heart. Everybody say oh, oh. Sing it to the wall, bring all the instruments out. Come on now. Oh, yeah. Everybody say oh. Put it up, come on, yeah. Let the band play. Let the band play now.
You and me, we align. daily, I dey pray make you day here when I'm 80. Tell all them boys you are taking. May they find another place, go find bestie. So deep how I feel about you. Nothing fit to touch me, now I don't fly. That's Burj Khalifa. And if you wait for the day when you say I do, and I'll say it too. You make it easy, I can't lie to you. Oh, give me command, I'll be a soldier. Any order, deliver, fit, carry helicopter. So when you call now, I do anything for you. You give me color. You paint my world with your pure love. Yeah. All black, no white without your color. I'm here, baby, we'll finish your call. Yeah. You give me. You paint my world with your pure love. All black, no white without your. I'm here, baby, we'll finish your call. Yeah.
Music is personal. Have the power to set the tone.
Time. Been around the world, seen many faces, but nobody be like you. One of a kind girl, you're my oasis. They don't know you like I do. Day after day, I'm thankful that you came my way. My life will never be the same. If you ever need somebody, you can come to me. Don't hesitate, just call on me. If you talk, I go do anything for you. I never feel this kind of way, the way I feel for you. Nobody mess with you. I go give them kung fu. I never feel this kind of way, the way I feel for you. If you need reminding when you're in doubt, I'm seizing every moment to say you're wonderful. God bless your mama, she gave the world an angel. Supernatural human, you are. Day after day, I'm thankful that you came my way. My life will never be the same. If you ever need somebody, you can come to me. So don't hesitate, just call on me. Yeah, if you talk, I could do anything for you. I never feel this kind of way, the way I feel for you. Nobody mess with you. I go keep them kung fu. I never feel this kind of way, the way I feel for you. It don't matter what they say. Remember where you came. The fate of the world on your shoulder. Rooting for you all the way. Pray the Lord to guide your way. I pray you never fall down. I'm thankful that you came my way. My life will never be the same. If you ever need somebody, you can count on me. May not take your light, keep lighting up the sky. If you talk, I could do anything for you. I never feel this kind of way, the way I feel for you. Nobody mess with you. I go give them kung fu. I never feel this kind of way, the way I feel for you. You made my life so beautiful. You are my prayer answer. I never felt this kind of way, the way I feel for you. Never felt this kind of way, the way I feel for you.
Billion faces in the room, no one as pretty as you. East, west, north and south, nobody close to you. I don't know where you live in, I don't know what you believe in, but when next I see you in my dreams, yes, without doubt you.
Damn so. It's been 6 years knowing you, and yeah, girl, I already wanna wife you. Never met you, but I feel I already know you. I try so hard to make you understand how I feel about you, but you have no clue how much my tongue feels me strange. It never does. What exactly it is about you, I do not know, but I'm never afraid to let my feelings show. So girl, I ride for you, if you ride for me. Girl, I grind for you, yeah, I grind for me. See it at night and watch the stars. Dreams I have, house 2 kids for the start. Wanna hold your hand and make you mine through the day and through the night, cause you're too fine.
No one as pretty as you, no one as pretty as you, no one as pretty, no one as pretty as you. No one as pretty as you, yeah. A billion faces in the room, no one as pretty as you. East, west, north and south, nobody close to you. I don't know where you live in, I don't know what you believe in, but when next I see you in my dreams, yes, without doubt you.
Cause that song by Chike should have been my name at the title instead of Insecure. Cause girl, I'm insecure, steady stressing whenever you don't pick my call. Feel like I don't deserve you, cause every day you teach me a new way to fall in love with the world. Your smile is a spark of joy in the world. Feel the sadness that you keep from my madness, cause I know I feel sweet and I'm moody depressed. I so make myself a steady crave for progress.
Am I good to go? Good afternoon, everyone. Let me pick up that energy. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. There you go. You bring the energy, you get the energy. Welcome, welcome. I'm excited to be here. I feel like we just finished one Make Music. I can't believe it's time for another one. This year, we're starting the journey earlier, and I love it with this town hall meeting. I do believe that there are plenty of conversations that we should be having in between, all around, you know, when we do Make Music. And I'm glad that this year that we really stepped it up. So kudos to the Make Music team. Shout out to them. Put your hands together for Make Music, I beg. No, that's not enough now. All hands are not clapping. I can't hear. I can't hear you. Thank you. Thank you for celebrating us. It's been an amazing journey being with Make Music. I have come to meet and know a group of dedicated people who give their time, their service. They're selfless in the quest for what we are trying to achieve, seeing as in I'm one of them as well. So it's always an honor when they allow me pick up the mic and anchor or facilitate any of these discussions, of which I'm very personal about. So today we're talking about building a supportive and collaborative music system. I think we all know what that entails. For all the I want to blows, the newbies have been there, still struggling, trying to get there. Where do I start from? There will be a lot of conversations today that will help you. They say it takes a whole village. I agree. To get anything done, ordinarily in life, it takes a whole village. But today we've got some great guys who are going to make the job so easy. All I have to do is ask the questions. I don't have to go too far into it. And I was reading some of the, let me call it CVs, and I was thinking to myself, now, wow, where do they find the time? I'm meeting all of them here. They look like they haven't put in enough years on earth to achieve all the things that they've been able to do. But you know what? I'm impressed. Let me just say that now. It's nice to meet you all. We have with us, and let me apologize because some of the names, if I just enter one Y where there's you, please forgive me before I start. So we have Dr. Foy. Please come up here. He is a thought leader with a significant impact on mental health, culture, kingdom, and technology. He is the CEO of Energize Music, a community that produces clean music that inspires positive emotions. I'm going to stop right there because that hit me when I was reading it. I was like, yes, finally, somebody has taken control of this. He is also the founder of Same Energy, a community for visionary creatives who want to transform the creative world in art, music, film, and entertainment. Ha! See here, let me keep going. His extensive background as an online video and digital entertainment executive, including sourcing and cultivating compelling content for prominent brands, has earned him recognition for his creation of award-winning integrated communications programs for brands, networks, and people. It is so nice to have you with us. I love your outfit. I told you already. I was just seeing it bling, 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 bling when I saw him. And of course, we have the only female who's going to accompany me on the stage. She wants to be called Mandy. She told me how to say her name. I'm going to give it my best shot. Mandy Uzagba. Hey, Kai, I cracked it. Please put your hands together for her. Keep clapping until she gets here. Notice how I'm partial when the woman is coming up. It's okay, don't worry. We'll be fine. Okay, so I think I wrote her. So, entertainment lawyer, award-winning author. I want to see what I said about you. Look too young to have done these things. Entertainment business executive, consultant, public speaker, legal educator. Currently head of licensing West Africa at, how do you say it? I thought that was it, but it sounded funny to me, so I said I'm not going to say umdumdu.com, where she oversees licensing operations within West Africa, especially Ghana and Nigeria. I doff my hat. Please put your hands together for her again. And then we have Patrick Onwegbu. Please clap for him. Clap for him. Clap for him. I made sure I consulted everybody. I was not trying to upset anybody before we started the conversation. So let me find his bits and pieces as well. Hashtag. I put a hashtag to this when I saw it. The genius revolutionizing Africa's music space. That's the hashtag I have ascribed to you. So can we clap for that once again? A multifaceted business professional. He's one of the pillars supporting the spectacular display of African music talent locally and around the globe. With 8 years in digital media, marketing strategy, A&R, management, content creation, and design. Kilo day. Please put your hands together for all of them. And I noticed something, and I put that up because I want to talk about that as well. It says that you caught the hip-hop virus in the late 2000s and early 2010s. You and I are going to have a conversation about that. I'm a hip-hop head, so that really jumped out at me. Thank you for being here with us. Welcome to Make Music, the family. We hope that after this, you will stay in this family called Make Music. We won't have to call you next time. You'll just be here, just supporting us anyhow. So let's start the conversation. We talk about that it takes a whole village. When we're growing up, and past when we're growing up, even just raising a child, they will tell you it takes a whole village. Auntie BC next door, Auntie BC next door, Brother Emeka opposite. Everybody is involved in making sure that that child survives and navigates whatever path. That was back then. I don't know, it's not happening now because some of us don't even know our neighbors. We don't know who lives in front or who lives beside. So it's a tougher journey. Now, the collaboration that needs to happen within everyone that is involved in making sure that as an artist you get what you need, you succeed, you have somebody to mentor you, you know your go-to, who to speak to, when to have the conversations, very, very, very important things that a lot of artists aren't even aware of, and the ones that are cannot tap into it. I feel that generally, I'm going to start the conversation generally. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Foy. I said to you when we're talking just now, I said, when I look at you, the energy, I've seen it in your outfit already. You know, everything about you is energy-based. Can you just talk to me about what it means for you to be having this conversation at this time?
So first of all, thanks for having me here. I'm honored, and I'm a fan.
Thank you.
I grew up on radio, and I'm a big fan. Like for real, like.
Thank you.
As a younger person, I wanted to rap. I wanted to sing. I used to rap, but then my father, who's an Igbo man, made me do medicine in school.
As you will not go and disgrace me and be
My
singing on
first son must be a doctor.
There you go.
For the past 13 years, I used to work for MTV, for BET, I worked for Budweiser. For the past 13 years, 14 years, I've been doing entertainment. But he still calls me doctor. To show you that that one is for your pocket, is this one. And the journey of my life has shown that it takes a community to help and build music. So the industry is so tough. The industry has to be almost first a labor business. You have to actually genuinely care for the industry because it's tough. Someone said that it's about networking. I agree. It's about talent too. But when I was in MTV, he was still very young, Wizkid, and he would come to the office then, and I remember then, like, we were tough on the guy. This is not good. He will come back. So I've seen that, Kiss Daniel years ago. So I've seen that this thing takes a toll on you. And if we don't have people that are just there, first for the love of music, for the betterment of the Afro sound and the Afro energy, there's wahala. So for me, I know that without stepping out, sacrificing for a generation, nothing's gonna happen. And that's why I'm here. That's the first reason why I'm doing this.
Okay, I'm going to come to you, Mandy. I want to know, generally, before we get into specifics, what does it mean? Because we're at a very critical time with music, the emergence of Afrobeats, and people trying to break away from, I don't want to be tagged an Afrobeats kind of artist. So this conversation today is very timely. What are your thoughts on being here and able to contribute to this conversation?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Personally, I'm very big on education because from my little experience in the industry, I realized that a lot of artists in the industry are just focused on their music and just their talent without understanding the business. And that's why I had a lot of people have issues in the past and continually have these issues. But if there are these discussions, there are also materials online and you engage to understand the industry, understand the business, it goes a long way. Talent is not enough. No matter how you want, that's just the harsh truth. Talent is not enough. You can be very talented and just dies in your bedroom. And then you see someone that understands the system, understands the business, knows how to play the game, and person is going far. Person use songwriters, music producers, and go far. And then you can do all of that things, and you don't go anywhere because you didn't take out your time to understand how the industry and the business works. So that has always been my thing from day one, to try and push that message and try to get not just the artist, also people within, because like we already said, it takes a village. An artist can't do it alone. But if you don't have the right team around you, nobody is going to tell you that truth. An investment will come in and you just say, oh, there's a lot of money coming in, without realizing the ties that investment comes with. So if you don't understand that holistically, you're going to make a mistake no matter the people you have around you. So that's the importance of having this conversation conversations, and that's why I tend to always just play my own role as far as I can.
Do your bit. Yeah,
Do
I
my
get that.
bit.
I mean, Patrick, definitely, I want to hear from you, from your perspective as well. When I was reading his CV, I was reading, I was like, okay, let me just sum it up. But, I'm going to let you sum it up in a bit, right after you tell us about, I keep coming back to the time that we're in, because it seems like musically we're at some sort of crossroads, not knowing, should I go here? Maybe should I stay? Let me stay here, Jay. Everybody's here. Let me stay here. People are not wanting or reluctant to shift base across genres or stuff like that. What is it for you, knowing how passionate you are about what you do, to be here in front of you and have and navigate this conversation so that they take something away?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. I've always been big on education, and I've always loved music. And if you even go to my Instagram page, you see a lot of lectures on music, because I came to understand that the idea a lot of artists have about music is just by the books, but breaking down real experiences, real guide has always been my thing. So like if you go to my page, and you see a lot of artists like, I want to do influencer marketing. Everybody understands that, influencer marketing is just paying somebody to like use your music. So what I do on my page is, break it down and make you understand the reality of the influencer market, that you could still spend the money and it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm happy to be here to share, real thoughts, real experiences, real guides and information regarding the growth of, the music business, the music sphere as a whole.
Thank you very much. Dr. Foy, I'm going to come back to you. First of all, I've read all about you. I'd like you to take maybe 30 seconds, I don't know if you can swing that, and just tell them exactly what you bring to the table as part of the collaborative team that is needed to navigate the so complicated journey to, I want to blow, because that's essentially where it starts from. You kind of tell yourself, I have the talent, and then next thing is like you go from that to, man, I need to blow, whatever it takes. Can you just let them know where you come in to help them start the journey or be a part of the journey and just guide them very quickly?
So 3 years ago, I started a music business for the Christian community. So T.Y. Bello, I don't know if you know T.Y. Bello, we handle her music. There's a guy called Greatman Tackett, we handle his music end to end. But I came from content. So I didn't come from music business. I came as a content lead. So I used to work with MTV as head of content, another Viacom group, and then I was working with Budweiser.
The same Viacom group?
Yeah, it's not Paramount. It's not Paramount. And then I worked with Budweiser, head of content across LA here. So I came with the mindset of content, not music, not just. And the reason why was that I realized that the future of music is going to be content based. It's not about music anymore. It's more about the integrated packaging of the artist.
Yeah.
The story behind, the story in front, how you sell yourself, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to explain that you can't wait for the Spotify, the platforms to become. You have to start as a content. From here, I'm going to GT Bank. There's a guy called Logic Pro. Why it is 30,000? He's about to get a deal from GT Bank. I'm heading there for the cover right now. Why? Because he didn't start from music. He started from, and that's where the world is going to. That's the truth. You can't change because platforms have come and have changed the way our attention is. So the attention economy will drive music growth. So that's my context.
Okay, thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. Please don't hesitate. Clap when you feel like. Don't wait for me to say clap. And when you clap, everybody must clap. I can see the ones that are not clapping. I shall be finding you at the end of the session. Okay, I'm going to ask you to do the same, and then we'll jump into the real conversations. So you're legal. You are the most needed part of this. You are the beginning and the end and the cocoa of this industry. Because a lot of artists, when they start, they get a deal. And in this feat of, I'm about to blow, they forget all else. I always say start with who's going to cover your back. Thank you. Yes, let's use that word, life. Because you are the one who's going to look at what's on paper and say, nehi, no, this one doesn't work. We're going to do this or do this or do that. How do you even go about and start to make the artists understand the level of importance of what you bring to the table? Because in 2 years' time or in 6 months' time, then it's like, they never buy Mika, they haven't done this, they haven't done that. But you have not read your 20 pages of jargon, and you are the one that makes it happen. Can you just briefly just tell us very quickly how important it is in this journey? Because a lot of artists bypass it.
Okay, so my primary role is as a lawyer, but I've been in the industry for about 10 years. I started in PR and brands communication, blogging aspect. And within that time, I saw a lot of artists. It's even like recently now that we have agreements to make things. 10 years back, we would just shake hands and just agree, oh, I'll do this, I'll make you go to Lagos. I grew up in Enugu. So then it's always, oh, I'll take you to Lagos, I'll make you blue, you meet this person and meet the other person. And then there was no paperwork. Now, fast forward to when I became a lawyer, I'm still a bit in that space, but I was very pro, let me push out the message, let me tell them what they have to do. But artists have coconut head.
Okay, sorry.
So slowly I'm getting to the point where I'm like, enter the trouble and realize that you need a lawyer.
And then they come and find you.
Because I think, not just myself, law, especially entertainment law, has evolved to the point that you can't tell me as an artist, you can't find an entertainment lawyer online. A lot of entertainment lawyers are very vocal. They have, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, they're always like pushing out, do this, do that. As a songwriter, you can get this, you can get that. Till now, we have artists that release songs and you don't even register your split sheet. You don't register that. So even after you've cleared everything as to split sheet and as a songwriter, you've gotten how many percentage, there's nothing to show for it. Years go by, you're not getting any money because they don't complete the entire procedure for that. Do you get? And it's not as if that information is not out there. The information is out there. It's just the importance that some people have placed on this. You see artists, no shade, I know there are a lot of artists, I'm not trying to speak ill of you, but you see a lot of artists that would rather ball, go to clubs, spend money than pay a lawyer.
And pop champagne.
Than paying lawyer, do you get? But at the end of the day, you can't do this business, you can't go through your career without having a lawyer. Because every step of the way, there are going to be deals, there are going to be conversations that you can't have on your own. You might try your best, you might learn a lot of things, understand how the industry works, understand that music has two parts, publishing and masters, understand all of that. But still, you need a lawyer to look at your agreement because it goes beyond saying, oh, I know that you're supposed to give me 3 years or 4 years, or I'm supposed to get marketing budget stated in my recording deals and all of that. It goes beyond knowing that. There's still like little bit of, will I say, legal jargons or legal words that can impede the delivery of those promises. They can finish promising you everything, and then within that fine print down, they start putting some conditions. Except this happens, this will not happen, except that happens. And then you've just read the first 3 or 6 clauses that gave you all those promises and you sign. So I would just advise anyone, just to like summarize, that you can't do anything in the industry without a lawyer. Dr. Foy knows. If the big people in the industry knows that, then I think every artist should just listen.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Please put your hands together for her. I'll come back to that conversation. But Patrick, you are into distribution and all of that. So you've done the work, allegedly. Maybe you missed out the lawyer. But you've gone from, okay, I put the content up. The music is up. I'm ready. My boys are ready. I have a good song, you know. And then at some point, they need to get the music out there. I like that he's coming from a background of content, because content helps you to know how to sell. It gives you some sort of arrangement in your head of, okay, how do I want to sell myself? You know, by the time they get to you, what are some of the pitfalls that you see? And maybe you say what you do so that they get it, and then you bring it home to my question.
So I would say, luckily for me, I love the music. That was like the starting point. And I've gone through all the processes. I've tried to become an artist before. That's where the whole love for music started. I love marketing. I've done a bit of marketing. I've done a bit of content. I used to manage a magazine back then. So I've moved from like processes to processes. I've done the A&R part. I've been an A&R officially when I used to work with Freemi Digital, a distribution company. So luckily for me, I've understood this process. And this process led me to, you know what, where would I come in, you know, to impact artists? So I chose, okay, let me go on the PR basis. That's when I founded Loud Behavior, because the idea was like, oh, how do you bring independent artists from where they are to something big? So that's why I started. So when it gets to the table, it's more like, okay, now you're very talented. That's what you have. But the music is beyond just talent. There's so many roles, so many things that have to be done for the talent to be harnessed. From the PR basis, from the branding basis, from the content basis, from the perception basis, because there's some artists that are really, really good, but just because of how they look, nobody's really attracted to them. I could go as far as telling that you need to hit the gym.
Wow.
That's why I go there. Oh man, just the hair you put on is not nice. You know, like I go as far as doing that. I go as far as telling that, oh, if you're dressing this way, you're not appealing. You don't need to, you know, go naked or something, but, you know, we come from the angle of the audience eyes. So I look at it from the audience perception, and I give you, oh, this is what they can consume, not what you like. Like Tyrone said before he left, he said something about finding balance between what you can create and what your audience can consume. So that's why I come in, like realistically rolling out the artist, not just, you know, putting out content. Oh, I'm so talented. It ends there because we're in a present time where you don't really need to know how to make music. If you know how to record, you look good. If I get a stylist, I shape you up, and if I record this thing like this, you can replicate. You can do it the same way. You're a talent. I don't need you to know how to.
Considered a talent.
Yeah, you don't need to know how to create music in this time. I mean, you could check people's albums like Tyler, and you see like, oh, maybe 10 songwriters on one song. You don't need, oh, she's beautiful, yeah? If I put in the best stylist, she's gonna look good. She's gonna look good on camera. She's light skin, she's this one, she's dark skin. Oh, she does that. Oh, that's all you need. So we're not in that place where people need to, you know, highlight the fact I'm so talented. We're talented in Nigeria. So what makes you stand out? Do you understand?
Okay, thank you for that. I like that we're breaking down the conversation, you know, as we're going along. I want to talk about content briefly because not everybody knows how to use their content to their advantage. In fact, some content can come across as offensive and childish for what you're trying to do. So you decide you have music, you want to put it out there, you're looking for the best way to catch people's attention, and there's no better way than content. Should they have somebody who they've hired, someone who understands how to sell, what the music industry is looking for, what's your audience target, because that matters as well, and should they be trying to put together the team as they start? Because I realize that money is an issue when you're starting out. You know, you need money for the studio, you need money for Mandy, you know, you need money for a lot of things. Should it be a case of, let me get the music right, go to someone who has a listening ear, listen to the music. A lot of artists, by the time they come to you, they've done the remixing, everything is done, then they will be asking you, Ma, what do you think? Is the song nice? You should have done that before you did the final mix. And then if you have any corrections, any one of us here can listen and say, look, listen, you sound like this person, or you already have too many of these people. What would you, because of what you do, say to an artist who is flying solo? And when I say solo, he's got his friends, but they all don't know, collectively don't know anything about the music industry and what's needed. What would you say to that person? Where should you be starting from? What's the starting point?
So I will go from a very high view.
Yes.
And then I'll go granular. From a very high view. So because we're driving music in the gospel space, for example.
Yes.
I've had 2-3 convos with some big companies, Sony Music, Universal, and they want to bring funds. For it, this is money on the table. Let's do business.
Yeah.
Let's go let's go to Ghana, let's make money. My partner on the music business, his name is Excel Joab. He's the head of AWOL. AWOL is a distro for Sony Music. There's $1 million on the table for new artists. $1 million.
Like right now?
Right now, for new artists. $1 million. Now, but this is the problem. The problem is that most artists don't understand that what you said is the first thing they should do. Music, if you cannot have a community of fans, nobody's going to put money on the table for you.
Yep.
Nobody. I would say that young artists, what you should do right now, what your goal should be right now, is be an amazing human being. Be what? An amazing human being.
Feel free to clap. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lady I know, I don't know if you know, her name is Cold AF. She's about to get a big deal. Cold on her own opened a Telegram group. This is a lady, has a Telegram group, has 1,000 people on a Telegram group.
Who she can go to with the music first. Aha.
She gives them previews. She has a fan base of 1,000 people plus already. That means if she does she posts on Instagram, she has 30, 50, 100 comments. Sure. Because it's not today she's asking them to comment. She's been building her fan base for how many long? For a long time. Most artists, because of the pressure, lose that the first thing they want to see is the energy around you. Now everything, what he said is true. We can scale up stuff. We can scale you up.
Look good.
But
do the best videos.
But should I be honest with you? Because of what I do. So I'm in Miami tomorrow morning. Every big executive.
Can I come? Do you need help?
Next one.
Yeah.
Every big executive want talent. So they want talent. You know why? They've seen Burna Boy. That a man can go on stage and light up a stadium.
Be on fire for what it does.
Be on fire for a stadium. Like he can. And that's where, because there's money in streaming, but there's money in live. There's money in events. You understand? There's money. There's money there. You get it. So there's streaming money, but there's money in live. Now, my question now is, for live, what do you do? Do you understand? Who's your community? These things you build yourself. Some people, you are in a church. Nobody in your church knows you do music. That's the easiest community. You are in school. And that person that did it well was Black, Udumudu Black.
Yeah.
So Udumudu, he's based in Abuja. This was maybe 8 years ago. Sorry, maybe not 8 years ago. Maybe 10 years ago. 12 years ago when I was working MTV Base. We went to do a Bigger Friday show road trip. And Fowles, everybody was there. They brought one artist called Udumudu Black. When he came out in Abuja, everybody came. I'm like, who is this guy? Do you understand? Now, for you to have that kind of thing, you have to have a good personality. You can't be always moody, sad, entitled, angry with life. How?
So put out videos where you're there, you're smoking and you're complaining about, yeah.
So on the macro level with the big execs, there's money to be, because you know why? Africa is the next India. That's the truth. Next China, numbers and youths. But on the granular, they want to put money on a person that will give them a 360 return, not only streaming music. And to do that, they're looking for those who can build community, have presence. So content has to be 360. Thank you, ma.
It has to be mutually beneficial to all. Yes, I agree with you. And also, the what you put out, some guy's job out there to just sit there and scout for talent. So if you don't have the package, that money that is on the table, you're not going to get a piece of it. So I think that, I'm so excited. Every year I say this when we have these conversations about, we should be doing it probably every month, not just, once in a while. Patrick, let me come to you. Because I think that I'm a music curator. People ask me a lot, Ma, please, I have this song. How can I push it? Can you put it on playlist? There's so many other things. Can you help me post? I think before you get to that, you have to do that community thing first. So they will do the selling of the song for you. And you don't have to do so much. By the time it gets to someone like you, where you've seen the artist. First of all, perception is everything. A lot of them, sorry, I'm going to come at you right here now. Forgive me before I start. You look at them and you're just thinking, this one is not serious. You know, hair is all over the place, clothes, the pants, the trousers are here, the pants are there. There's a sagging thing going on. There is a look that you want to have. So when someone looks at you, they can not, even before you open your mouth, they can see the creativity in you. They know that this person K is coming to the table to take money off the table and to make sure that you make money too. So if you don't come correct like that, what conversations do you have with that kind of person who walks into your office, he has come with sliders, you know, has not bothered to even put on shoes? You can be creative and look good. I mean, there's Dr. Foy, what can I say? You're looking good, she's looking good. How do you get them to understand the importance of looking the part and be creative?
Okay, right now I manage an artist. Her name is Gucci, a female artist with the purple hair. And
but the purple hair works, man.
It works a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So I think this makes sense because at the point where we started, I used to do PR. Then all of a sudden the music was picking so fast. I used to do PR. Then all of a sudden the music was picking so fast. Then it was time to like fill in the space for management. So getting to that position, then it's more than just the engagements we're getting. How do we brand? How do we position you, you know, from where you are blowing to so many other places? So you move from looks to, okay, what color of hair are we picking? Why should we keep doing this? What kind of content are we creating?
Exactly.
The perception, you know, like when people say content, there's a whole lot. You need to understand perception. Now, if you look at an Odumodu and a Bona, you see similarity. If I come and say, I want to create an aggressive perception, then all my content will be aggressive. My clothes will, I'll be wearing Timberland.
And he has managed that so far.
Yes, I'll be wearing Timberland. I won't wear, what's it called, probably one little Nike or something. Do you understand?
You go for gold.
Everything has to, the beards, you are creating everything to show that this is the angle I'm going. If you want to be a baby girl, you're creating everything to show that this is the angle I'm going.
And keep it up. Don't start and then don't follow through.
You have to be consistent because the truth about it is that sometimes you start something and you see that you feel it's not working, but it's working. You know, it's working. You need to be considered for a little bit for people to understand that this is the direction. And I tell people something like, an artist comes and brings a song and like, oh, you know, this song is great. But from the song, you could see that the artist is just trying to get engagement and all from that song. And I'll tell them something. And
Let me ask you that very quickly. How can you tell? Because that's very important. And anyone can.
Like I can tell like an artist is trying to get engagement.
Yeah, pure engagement. They're not even interested in.
There are some songs that you see that are created for trend. You just want that quick reaction. But I tell you something, and I tell you, I say, okay, the truth about it is that any song can blow. Because I remember you asked Tyrone a question, and how do you tell an artist if it's trash or not? I could tell an artist this is trash, but I could tell the same artist it's trash, but it can blow. But the problem with that trash blowing is that once it blows, changing the perception people have about you is the hardest thing in the industry. Rebranding is the hardest. Do you understand? If, for example, Portable sings good music to the people that listens to him. No, he has his audience. But today, if Portable comes and say, I want to become an R&B artist, I want to say meaningful music, he loses track.
Straight, he's going...
Because rebranding is the hardest thing. If I come and say, I want to sing High Life, and people know me for High Life, before I can switch to, let me say, oh, a Beyonce kind of music or it's going to be
music,
hard.
Yeah. Or
you know, you have to go back, try to recreate the perception, try to do everything to enter the new journey.
So in other words, I'll give you 2 seconds in a minute. So in other words, you have to know who you are, what you're trying to do, be true to who you are, the direction, so that you're not switching. January, you're a pop artist. Then by September, you're like, Wojari, let me just do reggae.
Yes.
Let me now go and get dreadlocks. Let me start wearing, the hat and everything. Yeah. I get that. You were about to say something very quickly.
I'm very close to MI, but we're good friends. We had a convo recently on what's going on, and he made a point that was powerful. He said it is harder to be a musician now than in his time. And let me explain. It's times 10 harder. I'm like, he's like, in his time, he had time to balance and show who he was
Gradually.
the big rapper of all time. He didn't have too many competition. He was in a famous record label. So there were only 10 good rappers, or 15, or let's say 20. But there wasn't this much attention issues that was social. Do you understand?
And there was no social media to confuse people as well.
Spotify just released data. I think it's now 15 million songs per day. 15 million songs per day. 15.
So you have your work cut out for you as an artist.
Yeah. So when you spoke about blowing quickly, guy, it's best for you to grow and then blow. Be consistent. Even cavemen, they were lucky that they did it 2 years or 4 years ago.
Because everybody has jumped on that as
Now
well.
everybody, yeah. Now it's so tough. I'm not going to lie to you. It's so tough because although, Mama, what I would say is that, and I'm going to say this with care, there's a leeway for female artists. There's an opening for, if you're a female artist, in the next 1, 2, 3 years, if you can stand out, you're going to have a chance because that's where the global market is going to. Men are more tough.
I like that you said that. That's how tough it is. Men or more together. Mandy, let me come to you. How important is the relationship between record labels and legal? Because a lot of times you have artists who have battles with their record company. We've seen it so many times, has to change names. What happens in that synergy? What goes wrong so that artist ends, most times, on their turf, on the streets? What's the relationship supposed to be like between you and the record label so that they understand how they have to pick every single item that's needed for this collaboration, for this ecosystem we're talking about?
Okay, from my experience, the major issues that happens, or the major thing that happens between artists and record labels, is that artists grow. Who you were when you signed the contract is not who you're going to be when the contract is going on. Within a year, within 2 years, especially if you blow or you meet some certain level of exposure and you start hanging out with big artists or collaborating on some big deals, your perception will change. The people in your circle will change. People talking in your ear will change. So usually I always advise for a short deal, but I've come to even realize that 3 years, 5 years, things still change pretty quick. Yeah. I would say what happens or what is advisable is a record label that is open to change. That realizes that, okay, this artist is growing and evolves with the artist. Like recently I did a deal, and around the deal, the record label prescribed that, if the artist is able to achieve this within 2 years, the formula of sharing and everything changes.
So can you renegotiate a contract?
You can, but it's not that easy. You can, but it's not that easy because as the years are going by, music business is expensive. The record label has involved a lot of money. So when you're trying to negotiate, except if you've made a lot of money back for them and they've recouped to a certain level, you have leverage to renegotiate.
If you're bringing money to the table for them.
Exactly. But if they are still spending more than they're making from you, they're even looking to extend it or looking for more ways they can recoup fast because they're realizing that this relationship will soon end and they'll be in debt. You will move on, even if they hold the song. If the song wasn't good, the song wasn't good. That's just it.
So they can't leverage on it either.
Exactly. So, but if let's say, for example, Dumodu had a deal. We've seen a real growth within his trajectory so far. He can come to his record label and say, okay, this is not working. I think we can renegotiate this. I don't want a 360 deal again. Just make money off this and this. And record label knows that very well. If they are making money from just streaming and maybe public performance or live performance, it's going to cover their expenses. They'll be happy. They'll be happy. You want to think that Olamide and Ashake's deal hasn't changed over time. Ashake is a very, very, very important, important person. Let me not just say person, but a talent to Olamide.
To be reckoned with.
So if Ashake comes today and boss, so I'm doing your
I need
boss.
to edit my.
Do you get?
Yes.
Once it works in the business sense of things, they are going to listen. But if you don't do that, a lot of artists just they grow. You have the numbers, but your numbers are not there yet. And because of people you're not listening to, you now start misbehaving. What will happen is that record label will leave you. They'll frustrate you. Record labels most of them have degree in frustrating you. They'll frustrate you. You won't see
Dr.
money.
Foy, I'm going to let you.
They'll frustrate you. Money will not come out. Nothing will come out. Your career that started like this will die.
Is that deliberate though, or that's just a way to force you out?
Sometimes
or
it's
kind of edit you?
deliberate, because then what happens is, let's just say an artist that you've maybe secured a very big deal with, maybe Def Jam or Empire and all of that, to progress his or to further his career, starts misbehaving, starts taking up deals behind your back. You're trying to caution the artist.
Or personally misbehaving.
Do you get
turning up for recording late, getting
something
drunk?
that is impacting your business negatively? Is one of two ways. It's either you end the contract, of which you've invested a lot of money, so ending the contract is not nice, or you start fighting the artist in court. Both of you spend a lot of money. Most times they just chill, no problem. You want to misbehave, no problem.
Just
do
stay
your
there.
day, no problem. There's nothing. And trust me, my own, I'm guilty of also advising that sometimes, because what happens is that some of that tough love will make the artist realize that, okay, you actually took advantage of a very good relationship. But if he's in a situation where he realizes that the artist is acting that way just because maybe he's asked for something and he didn't get it, and this person is a good talent to you, when during those misbehaving states, some things can change. But in general sense of things, most times record labels doing that is a proactive step, is something they do on purpose.
So that the artist can self-correct.
Yeah.
If I put three of you in a sort of like a company right now, so I call it, legacy or something, what would be the dynamics of three of you run in a company together? One of them walks in and says, I'm a new artist, I have this song, I'm looking for... First of all, access is tough to get. What would you do? Let me address access first. What would you do to make sure that from there to there, the journey is a bit smoother than what it is now? A lot of artists don't have a go-to. They can maybe corner you now after you finish and talk to you and talk to you and talk to you, but you probably won't get anywhere because it's a conversation that you're just having, like, okay, I'm moving, you're talking to me, and then by the time you leave it, you're done, he's done. How do we start to create the access that they need to you, and you? A simpler... I don't even know what needs to change, what needs...
Let me give you an
I'm going to
idea.
need three of you to sort of weigh in on this, because that's a very important part.
I'll say that this platform, Make Music Lagos, and I don't know who's listening, if you guys can mentor some young artists and then do like a road show with some investors, it'll be good. But before they meet investors, they have to have some things going for them. That's the truth. Now, I don't have time. I would have called MI to put on the speaker for you to hear something. Let's have it. Let me try. I'll try. When he signed Black Bones, Black Bone had recorded 1,000 songs.
Say that again. Say it louder so
When
you can hear. So you can
I don't
hear.
need to lie.
Even Majid, to this point, there are some artists that are very proactive. That without you telling them, they're going to his studio and record as much as possible.
When he signed Black Bones, he had recorded 1,000 songs.
So it was easy to start the journey.
Yeah, that's one. Two was that they had put a budget. He's not picking. They had put let's say they had put a budget of 10 million for his marketing. Black Bones didn't spend up to half the budget. He was using Instagram. He was using everything.
He was proactive.
On his own. The point is, guys, as a businessman, my focus is not to waste money. I'm not trying to lose money. I'm looking for, what can I do with this person?
Who's going to make it easier
for me? So when you come and meet me, I'm looking at your Instagram, TikTok page. TikTok, Instagram, I'm checking it first. I'm checking the comments, the engagement. I'm checking it well. I'm checking if I will beg you to make content. God will punish you.
Sorry, that A came out. It came out before I could even think.
Because right now you're a content creator, you're not a musician. You're a content creator, you're like a TikToker. You understand? Have you seen artists that will do 50 videos on one song, 40 on one song? That's the game. You understand? Because the problem now is algorithm. Algorithm is the issue of this generation.
And that takes care of everything.
And so if you can beat the algorithm, then you win the battle.
Patrick, let me hear from you on that.
I just like what you
We're
said.
running against time, but
Yeah,
we're going to have the convos here.
I like what you said now, because the truth about it is everybody looks for an artist they can work easily with. For example, you said TikTok. When I started doing PR, when I came in as a PR for Gucci, she was using that TikTok so well. So now it was, we are doing this thing so well. It was easy for us to convert TikTok to numbers on Instagram. Now she has,
sell her.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, you know how to do this thing. This is what you'll be doing. Let's do this to convert our numbers to Instagram. And we started doing something, taking out content from TikTok and posting on our page on Instagram. And all of a sudden, a lot of people on TikTok wanted her to post them on Instagram. And our page went all the way from 70,000, I can remember, I still have the screenshot, to 100,000 in a week on Instagram.
Because she was putting in the work.
Yeah, she was putting it. And then I think YouTube came up with the shorts thing. And you know, when they do this new features and they've not announced it, I noticed that I was like, you know what, let's pick all the content from TikTok and start putting on, on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're seeing from 70K subscribers, now she's over 1 million subscribers on
Fantastic.
YouTube. And it was easy to harness. You could reach out to somebody in East Africa, I want you to jump on the remix to this song. And it happened. And in the next week, we're going to Tanzania to shoot it, and everything blew up. From Tanzania alone, we're getting like another 100,000 followers before we left Tanzania, you know. So the truth about when you make it easier for people to work with you, our own is to harness. That's like thank God for the topic. You said it takes a village. You know, you can't harness what is not there. We can't give you talent, but we can only bring opportunities.
Yes.
There are sometimes that you blow up in a particular platform, and I have an access to call YouTube. There's this artist on this platform, she's doing good. I have the access to call Thriller. I have the access to call maybe...
because you know what you're selling.
Yeah, because you have the contact, but you need an artist that gives the opportunity to put that call. Now you have value. I can call, please, this girl, support her. And they look at it, wow, she's good, and everybody jumps on it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I want to very quickly, it's one of the things that I see. I caution a lot of artists. I mentor a lot of wannabes, have been struggling to stay there, is attitude. I've touched a nerve. I had to go there. Attitude for me, I look at artists like Two-Face, KSA, the humility that they exude when they're out, when you see them, how they treat you, how they navigate, professionally, even personally. It's easy. You can see that you can have some sort of access to them. But a lot of these, let me not even put them in any category, are feeling like, well, you know what, I'm too big for this. Why is this person? They have an attitude that it stops you right at the door. The door won't even open for you because of your attitude. If you add that to perception, add that to not knowing how to sell yourself, add that to they have no access to either of you, and are still struggling to get in, but yet they have an attitude because they think that I had one big song. You talked about a big song. You have a big song. How do you go to the next song? So you have a first good album, and then after that first album, you're done. Because in the middle of, okay, I have now blown. I don't need to be nice to people. If my fans want to greet me, I don't have to pay attention. I beg, Jerry, you're not listening to your manager again. And while we're doing that, let's put in the role of a manager. Because that's another, there should be like a fourth chair right here. For manager, road manager, business manager. I'm going to give you 1 minute to address those three things. Because this is the village. This village is continuous. Some people need a content provider, social media, everybody is working one artist. I'm going to start with Mandy.
Okay, I was definitely going to talk about the attitude thing during access, but right now, my side hustle is being an entertainment lawyer. My day-to-day is licensing for Ndundo, which is a DSP.
Yes.
And just touch on content that they talked about. Personally, we scout artists that we can reach out to and
Yes.
present these distribution deals to of content.
Can you say that again? That's you go and look for.
Yes,
Sure you can hear.
TikTok and Instagram.
They go and look for.
Very big, because YouTube will give you the top 100 on a normal. Most of them are already signed to big content providers like Empire and all of these guys. But then when you go to YouTube, you see independent artists that are just pushing themselves. It's from those type of contents that you've created that will be able to reach out to you and say, okay, this is what we can offer you. We can offer you this playlisting, we can offer you this spotlighting and all of that. But what I've come to realize with getting artists into my space to give them, because with my position to an extent, I might not be as big as Dr. Foy yet, but
you are the most important.
I'm
powerful.
privy to certain assets or certain people across the industry. Like if you want a publicist, if you want a manager, if you want a lawyer, if you want a this, I know 1 or 2 or 3 people I can call up. But the issue is the attitude of the artist. Now I've been burnt by some artists, and I think that kind of made me build a wall and made me get to the position of, first of all, I have to judge you as a person before I can give you this access. Because a lot of people might even come with the right attitude of being humble and nice, but they are not good people on the inside. There are people that will literally not be loyal. There are people that if you give this access to, they are going to treat it in a way that the guys that you're linking them with will start looking at you in a different way.
Why did you bring me this person?
Exactly. So I would say the attitude definitely plays a part, but don't act as a cover. Don't just build up an attitude because, oh, I want to get into this. Work on yourself to be a genuine person, to actually be a good person, to actually be a humble person from the inside, because time will tell. Do you get? And if you're a very good person from the inside, I have a particular artist, I'm not managing him, I'm not his lawyer, King Nehru, but it's one person that over time I've judged as a good person.
And you will step out of the
thank you.
ordinary
I
for
go
him.
out of my way.
Yes.
Oh, you want an audience with Clout Africa, or call someone, oh, please, can we get this? Oh, I
Are we
want to
listening to
perform
that?
this. Oh, can we get this? Because he's someone that I've noticed to be a genuine person. But that's not easy to find in the industry. So I would say take out, if you're not a good person, things will be a bit harder for you. You might have the talent, you might have everything. I know we have Odumodu that is very audacious and everything, but if you ask his team, if you ask people very close to him, he's probably a very good person on the inside.
Thank
you have
you.
Charlie Poppy that is outside, that is loud, but his lawyers that I know will always vow that, okay, this person is a serious person, is a good person on the inside. So you need to work on yourself first.
Thank you very much, Mandy. Dr. Foy, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to give you...
1 minute.
Thank you.
I'll say, number one is...
Because this conversation is like
is
10
a lot,
minutes.
I know. One is, if you can grow with a lawyer, grow with a lawyer. Grow, like, find a young person as your age and grow with the person. And don't cheat the person. It's unfair. Don't cheat. That's one. 2 is, I'll say that a lot of artists here have been hurt. You get the point? You've been hurt. You've been rejected. You've been rejected, you've been hurt, you've been misunderstood, your parents have hurt you, you've been spoken low of. I'm saying this because your greatness lies in letting those energies go. Have you heard? Those energies will never, ever attract your destiny. On your path to destiny, there are many parking lots. Those bad energies, the anger, the rejection, the shame, let it go. Because if you don't let it go, you won't even see your star. And I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be like a preacher. But you have to work on that thing within you. Because it's messing around, even attracting good vibes and good energy. I understand it. You've been hurt, you've been abused, you've done content, it didn't go. That's what I'll just say. That's all.
Patrick,
I think from the angle of attitude, the worst part of it is when you have attitude with your team that's meant to help you grow.
Sure.
That's where the problem starts. Like from the other part of attitude, for example, as a talent manager, yeah, you might say an artist bone him. It doesn't mean he's not a good person. As a talent manager, if I'm being honest with you, there are times we tell our artists to bone. Hey, we're getting here, just bone, wear your glasses and move. That's what we do. Because depends on the level you are. You are in an industry where you could be used and dumped.
Yes.
People just come and say, come to the studio, and they just want you to do something for them. And when it comes to the time where you want them to do something for you,
they don't show
they
up.
disappear.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful as a talent manager. We know when to tell you to front, oh, this is person. Yeah, sometimes you tell your artist, this person,
bone up, Joe.
this person, bone, just bone him. There's time to tell your artist, this person, say hi like you know him before. Do you understand? So we observe and, they wait for signal and we tell them when to do this, when to do that. So sometimes it's not like, oh, this artist is trying to be, ash or something, that's why it's burning, but it's part of the business. And the truth about artistry is that artists generally feel self-centered. They feel everything is about them.
Yep.
It's a normal thing.
Yep. Is it a focus thing, or this is what I must do to get to the next level?
It's in between. And the truth about it, I tell people, being a star is being a star. You can't be too humble.
Finish.
You can't be too humble. That's the reality. Maybe trying to get to that level, it's okay. Imagine Rema coming and playing with you anyhow. Will you respect the brand? No. So
it will demystify him.
Yeah. So it's part of the whole thing. You're a star. You are meant to be celebrated. But I know at the early stage of trying to get what you want,
you have to be.
You have to play the politics. It's the business. Get what you want, but don't just step on people or something. But know how to create the perception and flow with it.
Thank you so much for that conversation. I really wanted to talk about that attitude. I'm looking at the time. I'm going to take still 2 more minutes. Forgive me. I know they're like these shows. You should leave this stage. I'm coming. Mental health in this industry. Mental health. We're talking this collaboration. There are many chairs that should be, so, we can revisit this conversation again. A lot of artists, like you said, and I like how you just dimmed your voice, like you just took us away on that journey. Like to this, I was feeling very calm as we were talking. Mental health is a big deal. A lot of these artists are down, they're out, they are looking for other ways to prop themselves up. They're doing drugs and drinks and they're high 24/7 just to get through what is everyday life for them. Some of them will tell you, oh, it helps my creativity, that kind of thing. Can you imagine? But how can you be in that space and get what is coming to you? There's something that I saw on Instagram the other day, that God will only bless who you are. He cannot bless who you're pretending to be. It stayed in my head. Do you understand? He doesn't know where to. If you get into an Uber, you will say, I'm going to here. But if he doesn't know where you are, how is he going to bring this blessing? So mental health is one, and that's how we'll close out. And having a mentor, I cannot say it enough times that when you start, once you find this chick right here, this babe right here, legal, you find him to tell you, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we want to do it. I need you to stay focused. And then we have you to say, okay, now that we have those two, this is the journey. So, because you know what they do, it's easy for you to know what to say to anyone who's coming, because you know the job that they've started. And collectively, this collaboration, this ecosystem is right here, plus some more chairs. Can we speak very quickly, and I'll give you 45 seconds so I can close out and take questions. Mental health and having a mentor. Together. Very quickly, 45 seconds. Let's go. Time them, please.
Good. In 2018, the band, who knows the band? Banger.
What kind of question is this?
In 2022, I was there. I was in the room. I won't say the artist that is young was the headliner, and they told Banger to sing before the artist.
Oh.
And it was bad.
Wow.
But it was real. It was life. Banger, you know Banger now? He was he in his life he was the headliner for a long time. 3 years ago, I was in a hotel. There was a younger artist. You know the person. They told Banger to open up for this artist.
Yeah.
And they paid Banger his full money. So it's not. My point is, if you don't learn that life is in seasons, you run mad for no reason.
Aye.
You know, no, but I'm serious. You run mad.
No, yes.
Am I correct?
You are. I'm with you.
So you have to find your definitions. You have to find what you're pursuing. Gucci will have a time and she will go. Do you know there was a time there was Plantation Boys? You remember Plantation Boys? It ended like so. What's all these things now? You have to balance your life.
Thank you.
You understand? Thank you.
Thank you. Patrick, you're next.
Okay. What I would say is
let's finish this.
Managing expectations is one of the things people miss.
See, you know,
managing expectations, and most times the artists are under pressure. You see another artist doing what you feel you are meant to be doing, and the truth about it is timing. You talked about Odumodu Black, how long he has stayed in the industry.
800 songs, did you say?
And I'm very sure Odumodu should be more than 30 years right now. Do you understand? Ashake is more than 30 years. How long did it take him? Do you understand? How long did it take him? So the truth about it, sometimes we want things too early, but it's not the right time. But you need to keep building so that when it comes, you have a brand that can take, you know, the what's it called? The whatever the success brings. Yeah. That's just the truth. So managing your expectations. You can put out music and say, if you go, if you no go.
Yeah.
Some people will go as far as muting other artists so they don't even see what is happening.
I don't want to know. Let me just follow you.
So that you can be in your own pace, your own race. Trust me, manage your expectations.
Thank you very much. Amanda, you're going to close out. Mandy, I love both names, so I'm going to swivel between.
Just a little icing on top of everything they've said, because it's very important. I would say have someone or people that keep you grounded. In this industry,
please, wait, please clap. That's particular one, because that's the beginning of your community right there.
That can keep you grounded, because the person talking in your ear plays a lot of role as to your mental health. When you drown out outside noise, where's the inside telling you? Do you get? So it's always necessary, always advice. It could be a brother, it could be a sister, it could be a family friend, it could be anybody, but someone that knows the journey that you've been on, that have been there from the beginning, that can keep you grounded even when things are not going right. And about having a mentor, I think that shouldn't even be a question. There should be someone that is bigger than you. To find them might not be that easy, because finding sincere people is not easy.
Yeah.
You could find a mentor that tomorrow could turn to your competitor, but our advice, find a mentor. It could be for a short time, but at least someone that walked this journey, someone that's been on this journey, that can tell you that, okay, this thing you're saying this way, oh, this person spoke to me like this, or this person treated me, is not a personal thing. It's the way
just
things,
move on.
Do you get? It's probably the way things are, or this is the way you should treat it.
Thank you very much. I mean, time is always an issue when we do these things. And Make Music, I really want to say thank you, because what you're doing is going to change lives. We are changing lives one at a time, collectively. And like we said, it takes a village. This is the start of the village, but it's a very deep part of the village. I talked about many other chairs that should be on this stage today, but we'll get to that, where it will be bigger. We'll have major sponsors. We'll be inviting people from all around the world, and you all will be here because you started with us. This is our first town hall. So shout out to Make Music, please. Put your hands together for Make Music. Put your hands together. Thank you, Dr. Foy. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. Mandy, you and I, we have plenty of conversations. And Patrick, I'm coming for all of you. I'm coming for all of you. And I hope that this will be the start of something bigger. I hope that we can do more things. We hope that you will stay close to Make Music. And whenever we call on you, you'll come. Sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes it's time. But time is something that you give, but you can never take back. So we really appreciate the fact that you're here with us today. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for all of them. A big round of applause. Okay, you want to take a picture? I saw you from the corner of my eye. Okay, are we doing Q&A sessions? Someone gonna come tell me? Where I see people just moving. Oh yeah. Okay, let's maybe take a picture first, or do the pictures. Do the questions. Should we do the questions? Thank you. I know you're coming for me. Just give me a second. Thank you, darling. Okay, let's take the picture, and then we're going to sit down. Maybe, do we have 5 minutes to take Q&A? Let me know. I can see your hand, yes. Oh, there you are. I've seen you. Okay, we'll start with that. Can we take the picture? Because by the time we're done, let's take a picture first. Let's get the pictures out of the way. Mr. Mike, your mic is on mic, you know. Come and mic it for me properly so I'm not holding it. Okay. Now, I know you want to show off your playlist. Thank you. No. It's okay. It's just moving in the wrong direction. Okay.
Can you feel the beat? Every sound from every heart. It's time to let it breathe. Raise your voice, we're singing. Lift up a sound you're feeling. Let the
Shout out
rhythm
to
from your heart
everyone that has been in on this Alliance from Say. Thank you so much. It's been a great experience being here and letting you do this with us. We are so thankful. We're in here in this beautiful place. The AC not die. Let me just say that. So for that, we're definitely coming back, and we look forward to a lot more collaboration. So thank you very much for partnering with us on this. I was so excited when we started the conversation. So again, shout out to Make Music and Alliance Francais as well. Oh yeah, you have to do better. And you will clap and make as much noise as you can until we're done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, first question, you.
Yes,
let me know who you want to answer your question.
So this question is directed at both Dr. Foy and Patrick, because you work, I think...
Keep it short and sweet.
You
so
work
we
a bit
can
more
hear.
closely with artists, like a bit more directly. I know you're a lawyer and you also work with artists, but, you know, like a managerial side. And Charles asked a question about mental health. I just wanted to know what mental health services you provide in the context of your work for your artists.
I like that.
Okay, so I'm a cheat because I'm a doctor by training. So I have a mental health practice.
So you've tapped into it already.
Yeah, so that's what I do. So TY, Great Man, we have mental health practice for them. And there are 5 things, let me just say it. There are 5 things that affect artists. Burnout, number 1, drug dependence.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down, burnout, drug dependence. Number 2, lack of emotional robustness. In other words, they're so emotional. Everything is personal. That's number 3. 4, addiction. Addiction, most creatives are addicted. Do you know why they're addicted? Because addiction helps you release pressure. It helps you release a lot of things. That's number 4. And number 5, which is very, very key, is time management. Time management. Most artists don't. You guys, you know that you don't have to. So you don't have to stay on a thought for too long. You don't have to stay on a song for too. You know what I'm saying? You can let things go. So we have a mental health practice. It's right now. It's not for everybody. We do stuff for Chalk City. We do stuff for Energize. We do stuff for. I'll be honest, for some Christian creatives, because my journey has been trying to build the Christian music. It's the 3rd biggest streaming industry in the world. So there's money there, there's impact, there's income there, there's influence. So yeah, so I'm a doctor, so I understand it thoroughly.
Thank you. Who's the next question? Where's the mic? Okay, please make it straight, sharp, so I don't have to cut you off and then...
All right, thank you very much. So my question is on clean samples for upcoming artists. Yes. So I have an artist, his name is Brian Sings. You all should watch out for him. Right? He has a song dropping after Ramadan, but we have a sample on the song. This popular sound on Pers during 2010 or 11. Masa, I said there. So we had that song and we wanted to use the sample from the song. But we figured out the original of the song is signed to Universal Music. So the problem was we couldn't clear out the sample, but we had to take out the sample, then have the original version of the song. So my question is, what's the best approach to this?
Who's that question,
I have 2
sir?
questions. Amanda. The second question is, I have another artist. His name is...
you get 1 question.
Thank you.
Question.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm in mean mode now. Amanda.
You want clear sample from Universal.
The way you're even starting to answer the question, I'm even afraid to hear it. I'm afraid. Why? Oh, yeah, now.
It's not impossible. It's expensive. That's the thing. So there are 2 things. It's always advisable. The way you took it out is the best thing you did. But then the thing is that you could go ahead to release the song. Nothing happens. But then when the song blows, they come for you. That's where the problem comes. And they'll come from you big. Like they'll take 70% of whatever you're getting. Like you won't get anything or more. So our advice, reach out to the person, the artist, the record label, the artist or the record label, reach out to them, tell them your intentions, and start the conversation around clearing it. That's the best thing. Now, will it cost you money? It may. There's some that will be like, okay, no problem. Maybe it's an upcoming artist they're trying to help them. Like, no, wala, go ahead. But at this point, if this song records this amount of numbers on streaming platforms, then this is what will happen. We'll come back and talk about making money. But at the beginning stage, go ahead and use it. But never use a sample, no matter whether it's from a known artist or unknown artist, universal or an individual, without clearing it.
Thank you very much, Mandy. Okay, next question. Where are we? Can we get the mic to the next person?
Hi. So
we can't see you. Can you stand up and project your voice because we can't hear you?
Okay. Hi, I'm Dali. So I have a question with regards to having a manager. So I have a personal struggle for me as an artist. In the past 2 years, having people I'm trying to work with back and forth, but it's like we're not on the same vision board. I don't know how to explain it. So how do you, what's the right approach to getting the right person to work with as a manager and, sustain it for the long term?
Sorry, that sound was very necessary.
If I'm being honest, a lot of times, you know why most artist managers at early stages are their friends is you need people that believe in the craft.
Okay.
And before people professionally come in as managers, they should see potential. I mean, managers make money from percentage. I don't want to be working with you for 2 years and I'm not making money. Who will feed me? Do you understand? So most times, if you have a friend that is willing to take the route, at least at the early stage, it has to be somebody that just likes the brand and believes in the brand. So that's why most times it's difficult because artists start at the early stage and they are looking for professional managers. It doesn't really
and they can't pay
come
them.
in. You can't pay them one. You don't have percentage or royalties that can pay them. So it's always tough at that point. But if you can just get anybody that's totally interested in the brand and is just there filling up the gap until you get to that point where it attracts professional managers, just keep grinding.
I like that. And I think a lot of you would benefit from that. Okay, so unfortunately, that's all the questions that we can take. But I'm sure you can look for them. They're all on Instagram. I didn't find one. I can't tag you. Yes, you. I couldn't tag you. Make yourself taggable. What's wrong with you? Yes, I couldn't tag you. Are you Quincy Jones? What's wrong with you? I know you're there. You're almost there. Almost there. But find them. Send your questions, and I'm sure they will be here. They are part of us now, whether you like it or not. Adiola, hold them well. Yes. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you've had fun, and I hope you've taken away a lot from this session. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you, my panel. Thank you. Thank you.
For everyone, please, we've already mentioned the QR code. Please, you can put the QR code on the screen. Whatever question you also have as well, just try and
Bola, did you get my
drop
pictures
that
with
there.
them?
And as much as possible, we'll try to answer the question. So we'll round up very quickly because we need to leave this space. Hold on first now. Hold on. How many people are following Make Music Lagos? Please, if you are not following, please make sure you do. And thank you very much for... They're outside. Just hold on. Let us conclude. We have like a few minutes. All right, Mrs. Akemi.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining. And can we put our hands together for our panelists again? As in, I'm not an artist, but I sat on the edge of... Who was sitting on the edge of their seat throughout that conversation? Amazing. Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you guys so much. It's been so amazing. Quick one. I want us to just take a quick comment from Alliance Française. They have been so supportive. You know, Alliance Française, they're very particular about music creatives as well. So can we put our hands together for Duni? Thank you so much for this partnership.
Yeah, thank you, Adela. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope you had a fantastic time. So, okay, great. So just a little bit about Alliance, all right? So we are a cultural center, okay, and we promote, like Adela said, music, art, generally just the arts, visual arts, performing arts, just you name it. And so you can become a member of Alliance Française for 25,000 Naira for the entire year. And you have access to our library. You have access to our library where you can borrow books, you can sit and work there. There's free internet. You also have a 10% discount with Erikeza. And for children who are over the age of 5, and also for people who are students, like you're a student in secondary school, primary school, or university, the membership is 10,000 for the entire year, and you have the same benefits. Also, please do follow us on af.lagos. We update on all of the events that we have, so art exhibitions, music workshops, and so on, concerts, theater plays, like I mentioned, and so much more things that are very interesting and valuable to you. And if you remember, some of them may be ticketed, so therefore you might have a discount. Also, obviously, at Alliance Française, we have French classes, so there's more information about that at the reception. And also, don't forget that when you become a member, you also get a membership card. So I think that's generally about it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Adela, and Make Music.
Thank you so much, Jenny. We really appreciate your collaboration. It's making a big difference. Put your hands together. I want to acknowledge a friend. I know she wanted to hide at the back, but I met her just a couple of weeks ago, but it's been a great journey. She's new to Nigeria, but she has eaten our meals and she has gone to our concerts. So she's one of us now. Can we put her hands together for Marianne from the French Embassy? Marianne, just wave. So thank you all so much again. So we wanted to play the Mass Appeal song, so like video, so you can get a picture of. We just have 2 minutes. Get a picture of what that event looks like. The shutdown looks like this year. I'm sure a lot of us will be able to participate. So I think it's just 3 minutes of it.
Please, just.
Is it ready?
Yes.
So this Mass Appeal project, I mentioned to you that it started from Make Music Boston. So this is their own project in collab. Of course, Boston, but eventually it was hosted in New York, and they had a lot of people participate. So are we ready? If not, we'll have to skip. Are we ready?
Please, very quickly, please. So once we finish playing this, it's just to give you an idea of what the shutdown will be, and afterwards, we bid each other farewell.
Farewell, because there's another event that is going to happen here in... It's not ready. Okay, so they said they are not ready. Thank you all again. Please, if you're a member of Make Music, the Make Music organizing team, can you just stand up? I just want so that people can see if they have questions. Angela, Frank, just stand and wave. So please, you can see any of these people. Anyone wearing the Make Music t-shirt. If you have any questions, how you can be a part of any of the events. Of course, Mama Shaw's is one of us as well. You can be part of any of the event, get more information, because I know we shared a lot of information today, so it was a bit hard. Thank you all so much for coming. Till we'll see you again. We have another event with Alliance Française in May, so please follow us so you can see what those events are, even before they Make Music.
All right.
Thank you.